And sure, do you want me to burn the first card, or do you want to have the first card as we...
I prefer burn, actually.
All right, we burn the Hermit.
Okay, there you go.
And we have I have no Mike today and no Bruce today. We'll see if they add later. They certainly are welcome. And I have my card flipper going here, which is nice. Thank you, Conrad. And I got my my scenario all set. And we are on the Lost Citadel. Hitting the focus again to make sure everyone is on the right page. And you can see that we got Fred's character right in the middle. Fred's character, Svein or Svin?
Is that Mark Maron? It looks like him.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, but no, that guy was from the 13 Warriors, or Eaters of the Dead, depending on your
right
of it. And that was a movie that did not have a first scene that was deleted, like The Mask, which had Vikings in it. Did you ever see American Gods on cable or Hulu or Stars or wherever it was, Tony?
I didn't bother watching it. The wife did. There was
a scene in that where the Vikings were all trapped in in Vinland, and there was no wind. And so, one by one, they scream out Odin and chop each other down. to try.
That's what you would do, right?
Yeah, to try to attract the god. Right? And so, of course, the modern day Odin misses those days when people would be that reverent, for something as simple as the wind. But I just reminded of that.
Lord of Prayer.
Okay, yes, you will not petition the Lords of Roleplay or the Lord of Prayer. And let's. So, Fred, if you can see your icon there in the room with the base relief, we now have 2 parts of the map, and it will tell us to go back to the underworld under Isborsk. So you guys will love to return there. You can visit your old friend, if you get that deep, in the below the Iron Mantle. Now, Fred, you still can't go back through the collapsed areas, and looking at this map, I'm giving you no option but to go pretty much in one space down in the lower corner. If you're ready, we'll hit the notes, and you can...
Let's see here. What was the one direction we had gone? Oh, yeah, I see. Okay, yeah, so we got to go back over there. So one room at a time, or...?
No. It's you can play catch up. You can just go ahead and move yourself down in that area, and then we'll...
Okay.
And then we'll move on to that.
So the one direction we have left to go.
Yeah, they trapped you in the one way, and they're going to send you the other way. The dim light of day, I think, is what I called it. And this is a chance that we all have to use our wonderful fears that we wrote on ourselves. So we're going to face our greatest fears, Q&D. As we leave the underworld. It's so tantalizingly close, but it still could result in a lot of damage. And I would bet that Mike and Bruce thought to themselves that we want to be the world's greatest magic users. Rusty's already got us beat, but if they don't appear today, they knew that this table of facing your greatest fears was one that could strip you of magic abilities. So they might have lucked out in this. Now,
Bruce just jumped in on the epic table.
Oh, well, see you guys later.
Bruce, we can flip a card for you first on that note. How you doing, Bruce?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I got this new Q&D facing your greatest fear table, and all of the majors will toggle wizardry. So you do not want to see majors if you have a lot of wizardry. If you're a low-level schmuck like me, you want them to all come up. This is similar to the table where we toggled personal swaggering when we were rioting in Novgorod, and it's similar to the toggling of the blade techniques when we fought both the King of the Seas and his son. So everyone needs to take their own cards on the table, and occasionally I'll say something like, anyone with a phobia of public speaking must also attempt this role. So you all know your phobias, right?
Yes.
You wrote them down for your characters?
Down, right?
Yeah. Now, if you picked one to try to game the system, like I'm afraid of needle and thread, hoping that it would never come up, if you picked a very obscure one, if a knave comes up, it's going to activate no matter what. Or if you do not know what your phobia is, the knave will be the one that'll be especially devastating for a card to flip.
Was there a list that we were supposed to be choosing from, or
not in the least?
We just picked one, right?
You could say you're afraid of the color blue. You could say you're afraid of the oceans. You could say, and at this point, it wouldn't even mean that, like say I'm afraid of rowing, and they put you on the oars. All it would mean is that you're having a much worse time than most people when they're punished for a day and they have to row. So I'm going to start with my brother Rusty, as I always do, and look at this. I can just hit a card, and Rusty can get a page of swords.
Oh,
something broken.
It's not even inverted. Yeah,
a knave of swords. How convenient, but it's not a bane.
No, it's not a bane, and the banes would matter. And I just put it in the chat for you, Rusty, if you want to read it out.
Let's see. Slash out and kill the cowering. Give your minions something real to fear. Fail and suffer a vicious wound. Regardless, lose a longboat swaggering. Anyone with a phobia of the unknown or truly obscure must also attempt this roll. Difficulty 13. Advantage trait methodical.
Now, probably, Rusty, you want to...
I am not methodical.
Yeah, you probably just want to make roll this, is what I would say. But it's up to you, because you do roll twice. Or I tell you this, though.
I can only use one make roll getting past this thing. Is it only one thing?
No, you definitely need a way of getting away. But you might want to consider this. You are very close to the end of the mission here. You could risk this roll, take the wound, and by taking the wound in the cave, you'll be dragged out by your minions. You know, the cave's job of the illusion cave is done as far as the gods are concerned. And you will not risk any of your magic by having majors flip later. So is it worth perhaps, are you rugged?
I am rugged.
You are rugged. It's up to you whether you want to try to roll this and not make a 13, roll this and you'll get lucky and make your 13, or if you wish you
But I mean, I'm rugged, so it's going to go away, right? If I get the vicious wound?
That is correct.
Yeah,
well, it will be ignored.
You consume your bonus, right?
Yes. Fred, did you have a question?
Yes. From last game, the wounds that we suffered, they stay on because we're still in the dungeon?
They will last until you get through the epilog. That is correct.
Okay.
But as Conrad pointed out, since we put a lot of extra stuff in each week, I will reset your trait bonuses. So if you are rugged, you were rugged before, correct?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, if is anyone above level 5 in rugged? Because doesn't above level 5 in rugged, you can block somebody else's wound?
Yes.
I'm above level 5 and I am rugged.
Yeah, cancel someone else's wound.
Yeah, so we can always use that as well to make sure that you're not going to die on your first
I see.
mission.
Okay.
Did you make level 1?
No, I'm one away.
You're one away. And what is that one that you're missing?
Let me take a look here.
I'm one away from level 2 red, and it's adventure, the travel that I need since I'm entering the underworld.
You'll get that from this.
I'll check that at the end of this, right?
I need battle military strategy.
Yeah, you probably won't get that until the next room or the room after.
Unless you're phobias, battle and military engagement.
Yeah.
We're gonna see flying cats.
But Rusty, I'm back to that knave.
Okay, so I don't need to disclose my. I have a fairly obscure one, which is bad bosses. Is my fear.
Hey, what are you calling me?
I phobia of the unknown or something truly. But you were the card flipper.
So yeah. So I'll go ahead and try and make roll it.
Okay.
I'll make roll it.
Oh, you're going to make roll it and not have it happen to you. Okay.
That's right.
And does anyone else have something they would consider truly obscure as a phobia? For instance, my phobia, did I write it down here? I thought I did somewhere. It's all over my page.
I've hit flying cats.
Mine was dwarves.
Oh, yeah.
My greatest fear is being forgotten in the annals of history. So does the unknown count as me being unknown?
I would let you count that as either this or it's a fear of public speaking or reputation. So,
Fear of abandonment.
Fear of abandonment. I'm not sure if I have a fear of abandonment. Let me go through them real quick. I got fear of drowning, fear of flying, fear of heights, fear of claustrophobia, fear of closed spaces, fear of bugs, fear of strange things. That's close to your fear of rodents. That would also include my rats. Fear of the undead, fear of blood, fear of darkness, and fear of the unknown, which is catch-all, and fear of storms, fear of betrayal. That could be another one related to you, Tony. And fear of public speaking. Actually, 10 out of those 14 are statistically what people are most afraid of.
I'll be fear of betrayal.
So if you're not that, you're an unknown?
Correct. So if you pick something that's more obscure, like I'm afraid of the fairy folk. I could even say it was for mine. I'm afraid of dwarves. But I'll just consider mine like it's rodents, because the dwarves in the game are imps. They're more of a pest than they are an unknown like magic. Okay, so do we have any other takers that need to make that roll of 13 methodical to avoid the wound, because they feel that they've picked a, I have a fear of computers in a fantasy game. That would definitely be the unknown. No takers?
I will actually take the unknown as I was like that.
It's a tough roll. Okay.
My being forgotten in the annals of history, I'll say that's close to being unknown.
Okay.
It's not in the list of 10 that he mentioned, so.
Right. I'll use the make
14.
roll on that, though.
Oh, 14.
Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, and you're going to use the make roll to avoid the wound as well. Terrific. And anyone else? I'm going to go on to Conrad. Conrad, I flip a card for you, and I'm going to get the wheel. How about if we shuffle?
Yay. It's a knave wheel.
That's interesting. That was
knave. It's inverted.
And how about if we get a queen for you, Conrad? And the queen will be, and I'll grab it and post it.
So my fear is drowning, but don't tell anybody.
You can always have a fear of drowning, even if you swim. Go ahead.
Yep.
Oh, those fears are coming into play now. I got back.
We got Mike. Got Mike.
To cover.
Welcome, sir.
Welcome. Laura
Mike.
will be in shortly. She's making a quick sandwich.
If you're on 7.45 of the card flipper, you can join us. If you don't, please update before you do, or you'll crash us out.
I should be on 7.45. I just updated it just now.
Okay. And Conrad, go ahead and read that out for us.
Instruct all to cover their eyes rather than experience these horrors. Success in this encounter ends for your character. Fail and lose a longboat's technique to as many self-blind. Attempt with a phobia of betrayal anyone with a phobia of betrayal must also attempt this roll. Difficulty 12, advantage skill, prestidigitation. I do not have prestidigitation, but I will make the roll to get us out, right? Or is it just me that gets out?
It's just you that gets out.
Just you, but it's a better
but we want to do that.
Use your make roll.
Okay, so Conrad moves himself out. Does anyone have any sort of fear of betrayal that they want to confess to? Otherwise, we're still looking for those knaves. I'm up to Mike.
Yeah, that's mine right there. Fear of betrayal.
Okay, so you need to roll.
Fear of betrayal. No, I don't know if this counts as betrayal. Hugin's greatest fear is that the old gods are dead, gone, and can't be heard by their worshippers.
You're more like an unknown, I think, as well, or
I bit fear of flying cats.
Yeah, fear of flying cats. That could be two things then. That could be
I was going to say that one's not as rare as you might think it would be.
Yeah.
In the underworld.
Yes, exactly. Here come the flying cats at you, Fred. Mike. I should say, Bruce. You also need to make that 12, and you might want to make roll it and just get out of the underworld with it.
121.
121 is a very high roll. And okay, so Bruce is also out of the underworld. Mike, I'm going to flip a card for you. All right.
Cool. So we're in the underworld. Are we facing?
Mike, you have a queen as well. If you want to, do I need to relist it, or do you see that queen that's come up before?
I don't see the queen that's come up before. What table are we on?
It's
in the chat.
It's one that that I did not post because I wanted some of it to be a surprise.
Sure, post it up for me, please.
Go ahead.
Are we facing these minions of Wayne, or what are we doing?
You're in a cavern that's making your worst fears come true with illusions.
Since I'm never shaken in the underworld, do I even care about this?
Yes, because there is shaken on the table.
Okay. Instruct all to cover their eyes rather than experience these horrors. Suggesting success in your character, encounter ends for your character. Fail and lose a longboat technique is many self-blind. Anyone with a phobia of betrayal, which I do not, must also attempt this roll. Difficulty 12, advantage skill, prestidigitation. I do not have prestidigitation, but I got a whole... Oh, do I have No, I don't have prestidigitation.
Do you have a make roll? Because
I'm going to burn a make roll. I got a whole...
That's another person out of the table. I don't have Greg with me. Fred, I'm up to you, sir. Let me flip a card for you. How about if I give you an ace? Now, aces are usually really nice to get, but we'll see if this is the case as well.
So I'm going to post it, or?
Yeah, I'm going to put it just in the chat. There you go. It's advantage slave driver.
Okay. Overrun and trample the soldiers, unresponsive and cowering success. And this encounter ends for your character. Anyone with a phobia of drowning must also attempt this roll. Difficulty 8. Advantage skill slave driver. I don't have that. So I guess I go with 2d8 here.
2d8, and boy, this would be a good time to get a high roll and get you out of this mess. But that's just enough is all you need. So you are out of the underworld.
But I'm already out.
Already
right,
out.
So I don't roll,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes, correct. You're already out of the underworld, so you're not affected. I go on to Tony, and Tony has himself a high priestess. Tony, do you have the wizardry demigod?
Demigod, yes I do. It is glorious.
It is glorious, so you cannot lose it. Very good. You actually would have a choice. I'll post it in the chat so you can just see what the result would be if this table ever comes up again. It would be that you toggle the wizardry demigod A. If you don't have the swagger, gain it. If you do, you lose it. Or, at your option, you keep it, but you suffer a half D8 warped outcome result. So, but in this case, you do not lose it.
Okay,
No.
but it's locked. I'm not forced into the half a die 8.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is the way that I am interpreting my own table. And I go on to the next card I flip, which is an 8. And an 8.
8 of coins.
I'm grabbing it. I'm putting it in the chat. It's coming up to you, and off you go.
All right. Stop yourself from whimpering uncontrollably. Fail and suffer a vicious wound, self-inflicted. Regardless, lose longboat swaggering. Anyone with a phobia of undead must also attempt this roll. Difficulty 10, advantage wizardry celestial G. I do have wizardry celestial.
Is it locked as glorious?
It is.
Then it won't matter anyway. I would think since there is a fail for vicious wound here, but you already used your first vicious, correct? I mean your first make roll, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, it's 3 dice for a 10. You roll twice.
Oof, there you go.
There it is.
And he makes it a second time, but you're still in the underworld. Bruce is out of the underworld. It's over to me. I give myself a card flip, and I got myself the Pope card. I look down at the Pope card, and it tells me that the Hierophant, I will toggle telekinesis. Let me post that in the chat just so you can read along with me. And I look at my character. My character only has a couple of wizardry, and I do not have telekinesis. I will pick it up. That sounds nice. And I flip another card, and I go, please, please, more of the majors. And I got a 4. Now, a 4 says to me that I will keep the men corralled by creating barriers, walls, obstructions, or restraints. Fail for a vicious. Regardless, lose a longboat swaggering. This is another culling, I think.
This is an ugly card. Oh, I lost the longboat technique in the last
I took it off. I've been keeping track of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've been taking them from the bottom, which is the way we'll get them back. As we
we're getting down there on longboat techniques.
Let's see. Keep the men corralled, as I said, and I will need to roll I'm not claustrophobia. 2 dice for a 9. Wizardry technique is conjuration. So if I roll a 9 on 2 dice, I pick up conjuration. Otherwise, I fall with a vicious wound. It is a tough game at times. Look at that. I picked up conjuration. I'm suddenly this magic world of the underworld is making me a better magic user.
Conjuration's L, and it looks like Laura's about to join us.
And I go to Rusty. Rusty, you still on the table?
Tell Laura
you got
it's
away.
a good time to eat that sandwich and not come in.
Conrad is gone. Laura.
Come in.
Let's see. You can skip me. You can always skip me.
And Laura gets herself a phobia of a 10.
What is your greatest fear that you wrote down last week?
Oh, you can skip me. I don't even have a character up in it.
Well,
Bested?
that's yours in the chat under Red Games Phobia 10.
Yeah, because you had to open your big mouth before I was even. Never count on Mike to keep quiet about anything. Greatest fear is being bested, especially by a man.
Bested by a man. That would sort of be, let's see, that's sort of a betrayal. But that does not apply. It certainly isn't darkness. So go ahead and read that out to us, Laura, and see if you can avoid being shaken.
Use a human shield, placing someone between yourself and what you perceive to be there. Fail unshaken. Anyone with a phobia of darkness must also attempt this roll. Difficulty 12, advantage skill berserker?
Yes.
I am pretty sure I'm berserker.
3 dice for 12 or you're shaken.
I am a berserker, so.
And you roll twice, right?
I didn't need the
Didn't
twice.
need it.
If she needs it. And who is left in battle? Fred got away, correct?
Yeah, I got out.
Height
Rusty's
still
left.
up.
Tony is still in the battle, correct?
Yep.
I got Tony and I got Rusty. I got myself and Laura. All right, so I'm going to Tony. Tony, I'm going to give a 3 to.
Okay.
Send it in the chat for you.
12B3. Call on lurking gods and fallen legionnaires for protection. Fail and shaken. Anyone with a phobia of heights must also attempt this roll. Difficulty 9, advantage, necromancer.
Necromancy H. So it is 2 dice for a 9. You're rolling twice for your level to pick up necromancy.
I do not have necromancy. 2 dice. There you go.
Pick it up, necromancy, and you're still in the battle, unfortunately. I move on to my character still in the battle, and it's a 6. Calm the party's worries by refuting what they claim to see or downplaying their own phobias as childish. Fail and lose any swaggering. Anyone with the phobia of xenophobia must also attempt this roll, and the advantage is hexes. Do I have hexes? I do not have hexes. If I fail, I lose a swaggering, 2 dice for a 12. That's a tough roll for me, and I missed it. The swaggering I will lose will be the one I just picked up, conjuration. Easy come, easy go. But I'm still in the battle. Rusty, you're still in the battle, correct?
Yes.
And Conrad, you see that 6 of swords I'm reading at the top? Bane?
10.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
a 10 of cups for whatever reason. I'm going to go by the words that I can read because that's more what I'm going to cue into. So
Right.
it should come up. Hanged Man for Rusty. Oh, Rusty.
And heard it.
The Hangman says that you're going to toggle wizardry paralysis.
Oh boy.
Now,
Let's see.
you do not have to lose it if you want to add to your warped outcome.
What's paralysis? Oh, there it's
Q.
Q. Oh jeez. Let's see my warped outcome, huh? I'm at 29 right now.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll take the warped outcome.
Now, are you gifted, Rusty?
Yes.
I believe you can use your gifted once per adventure to sacrifice a swaggering, and I can take a longboat. I could take our orderly kept from our longboat, if you wish.
Can I assume we're out of clevers by now?
Yes. Clevers are all gone.
No, I'll save the gifted for later. I got a 1.
Okay.
I go up to a 30 warped tally.
Would you like to read that to us or give it to us, Tony?
Hey, that's a good one. Look at that.
Okay, so Rusty, you have a benign
Let's see.
spirit attached to you. You should name that benign spirit because it actually appears several more times during the table as it progressively gets worse or tries to take over for your body or whatever. But you may take half a D8 skills or 1 trait, or you may lock Spirit Guide as glorious.
Spirit guide. Let's see here. Spirit guide is what? Let's see.
It's R.
R. So I can walk Spirit guide is glorious, or I can take
Half a D8 skills
Or a trait.
or trait. Do you have all 6 traits?
I have 5 traits, so I can pick up methodical if I wanted to.
Not a bad one to do. It cancels defensive modifier.
I'll pick up methodical.
Okay, let's give you your next card, and your next card is going to be an ace. It's been played before, but I'll post it again for you. It's the advantage of slave driver. And I think was that the one that got Fred out? I think it was, but go ahead, Rusty.
Overrun and trample the soldiers, unresponsive and cowering. Success, and this counter ends for your character. Anyone with a phobia of drowning must also attempt this roll. Difficulty 8, advantage skill, slave driver. Let's see. I don't think I'm a slave driver, but let's see. Slave driver would be where? That would be under what? Nobility? No. Oh, it's under traveler. Okay, no, I'm not a slave driver, so I'm looking for an 8. Well, that missed. That missed. So I fell, counter ends, character, anyone, phobia, drown.
No, so you just basically missed a chance to get away. And I go on to Laura, still in the battle.
But you had a chance to stick more responsibility on the NPC Ungmar.
And yes, we wanted to all pile on as a spirit guide, as if he can see anything in the realm he's in. Laura, I gave you a king there. Go ahead and read it out to us, please.
Roust yourself back to fighting form with soul-restoring swallow of your strongest brown ale. I didn't realize that Captain Morden was here.
Yes.
Success in this encounter ends for your character. Fail and shaken. Anyone with a phobia of public speaking must also attempt this roll. Difficulty 10, advantage, skill, grit, fortitude, which I have.
Okay, so give me 3 dice for a 10 to avoid being shaken again, and you've made it. And I'm going over to Tony, right, who's still in the battle. And
yes,
Tony, how about if I give you an 8 of cups and the 8, and I'll post it out. I think we've seen the 8 before as well.
Yep.
It's the celestial one.
Stop yourself from whimpering uncontrollably.
That's
fail.
Twice. This card definitely thinks you're a whimperer there.
Yeah, fail and suffer a vicious wound. Self-inflicted. Regardless, lose a longboat swaggering. Anyone with a phobia of undead must also attempt this roll. Roll difficulty 10, advantage wizardry celestial. Well, I'm still 3 dice of a celestial. I've succeeded.
Okay, we come back over to me. I'm looking for some face cards here. Maybe get an ace. An ace. I can get out of this. Overrun and trample the soldiers, unresponsive and cowering. Success in this encounter ends. Anyone with the fear of drowning. Boy, Conrad has really been piled on. A slave driver. I am not a slave driver, and I need an 8 on 2 dice to get out of the battle. Can I say that I use my energetic? I probably should have used my energetic. Next time around, I'll use my energetic to get +2 to the dice. Rusty, I go back to you, and I give you a 2. A 2 is a new one. We haven't seen it yet.
Rush ahead along what you think is an alternate path of escape. Fail and gone for the remainder of the adventure, including the epilogue. Play an alternate role. Anyone with a phobia of flying must also attempt this roll. Regardless, lose a longboat swaggering. Difficulty 12. Advantage wizardly what? I can't read it. Shaw?
Wizardry of shape-shifting.
Shape-shifting. Let's see. So, shape-shifting is what letter?
Shape-shifting is a J.
Is J, yes.
Okay, I don't have shape-shifting. So, I need a 12 to pick up shape-shifting.
You
Or
need
you
a
get to
12.
bring in a level 0.
Huh?
Or you get to bring in a level 0.
Yeah, but he's commenting because that would give him 19 out of 20 of the wizardry, I believe.
Yeah. So,
Make roll.
I can't. I already used it.
But he made it. Look at that.
I made it.
When it comes to humiliating the party, Rusty can make a roll. So, Bruce, he has fallen another pip behind his nemesis in the party, and then as well, Mike is still stewing about the fact that he's the spiritual guide with less wizardry than the all-powerful and everlasting Rusty. We go on to Laura. I'm still trying to get Laura out of the battle. That 9 of swords, that is an ugly card. And just by the look of it, but 9s are not too bad in the actual flow of Outlands. So let's put that 9 in there for you, Laura. See if you can get away with paralysis.
keep you men from fighting over lustful apparitions or a mirage of golden splendor. Success in this encounter ends for your character. Regardless, lose any longboat technique. Anyone with a phobia of blood must also attempt this roll. Difficulty 9, advantage wizardry paralysis. Let me see if that happens. I do not have paralysis. So none of the other ones substitute for that, right?
Well, it's the highest. So wizardry substitutes for all the other swagger. None of the other swagger substitutes for wizardry. You should make roll this, Laura, and not inflict the extra cards on our boat.
Well, I already rolled, and I've got a second roll here, so...
You do?
There we go.
Okay, Laura's out. I got Tony, myself, and Rusty still. Tony, back to you.
All right.
How about a world card?
Okay.
And the world card is going to tell me that you're going to toggle illusions.
Illusions. I don't have illusions.
You do now.
I guess I'll grab it. Gosh, I'm
picked
getting
up
all these stupid magic
wizardry
stuff.
that you don't want, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're probably a little bit in denial that in the world of Outlands you're not going to, but you can probably justify these as more powers to your sword or the mount or the lucky charm you carry. So you're going to be a knight. I don't think we've seen a knight yet.
Not yet. How bad is it?
Well, are you a man-at-arms?
Yes, I am. Of course I am.
You probably are not going to have a bad time of it. How about that?
Okay. Scold the men for cowardice while after I was whimpering. While also concealing your own terror. And I'm still scared, yes. Success in the encounter ends for your character. Fail and lose the longboat technique as many go insane. Anyone with a phobia of storms must also attempt this roll. Difficulty 11, advantage skill men-at-arms. Well, I'm a man-at-arms, so let's see if I can get out.
3 dice for 11, rolling
that's not
twice.
good.
Hey, you're rolling
Hey,
like Rusty.
there we go.
There we
Yeah.
go.
So we got myself and my brother still in the battle here. How about a card for me? And I will activate my energetic to get a +2 to the dice roll just to make sure that I have the best chance here. And we got that knave, and that knave unfortunately means that I could fall with a vicious wound.
And it's a 13. It's a nasty card.
It's the knave is slash out and kill the cowarding. Give your minions something really to fear. Probably I'm slashing at ghosts that are in the Hall of Illusions here. Regardless, lose the longboat swaggering. There go all our stores. And on a roll of 11, or I fall with a vicious wound. You probably want me to fall with a vicious wound here. 2 dice for an 11. 15. I did not fall with a vicious wound. Actually, I roll 3 dice because I am not methodical. Boy, different character. Rusty, your card flip is a 6. 6s are never good.
So I'm going to have to use the energetic also.
Okay, go ahead and pump your energetic in there. Get +2 your dice. And wizardry hexes. Go ahead and read it out.
Calm the parties worried by refuting what they claim to see or downplaying their own phobias as childish. Fail and lose any swaggering. Anyone with a phobia of xenophobia must also attempt this roll. Difficulty 12, advantage wizardly hexes, which I do have. The only thing I don't have is precognition. So
Precognition.
I'm looking for three. I'm looking for a 10 on 3 dice.
You certainly can get that when you go up a level, probably.
And I got it on the first roll. Didn't even need to use my...
So you're not going to lose the swaggering, but you're still in battle. Back to me. And I have a 7. The 7 is drop to your knees and crawl away from a perceived danger. Fail, and all party pips reset to 0. Sorry, Rusty. Anyone with a phobia of rodents, that's me, must attempt this roll. Oh, look at that. Rusty said he needs precognition. You don't have a phobia of rodents, do you, Rusty?
No, I don't.
Wow.
No, my phobia is bad bosses. It's the unknown.
Yeah, bad bosses could be a form of rodent, but no, it's a roll of a 10. It's a roll of an 8 for me. An 8 to save our party pips and pick up precognition. And I picked up precognition. I will mark that. It's not a tremendous disadvantage to stay in the battle when you're when you have so few skills, but I could cost me my life eventually. A knight for you, Rusty. Here's a chance to get out of the battle if you can make that roll. It's skill and men-at-arms. I'll post it in the chat for you.
Let's see. Let's see. Scold the men for cowardice while also concealing your own terror. Success. And this encounter ends for your character. Fail and lose a longboat swaggering as many go insane. Anyone with a phobia of storms must also attempt this roll. Difficulty 11, advantage skill. So let's see. I'm pretty sure I'm skilled man of arms. Let's see here. Skilled. Yes, I am skilled man of arms. So I'm looking for 3 dice for a 9, right? Because my spirit is still in effect.
It is, yes. I did not cancel it out with my bad roll.
Okay, made it.
And you rescues out of the battle. That just puts me as the only person left in the battle, and I get a knave. The knave will not get me out of the battle. I need an 11, or I fall with a vicious wound, which gets me out of the battle. And I roll 2 dice, but I do not make the necessary roll of 13 to get my 11. So I have fallen with a vicious wound, and then everyone else gets out, and we push Fred over to the safe zone.
And red just for the, so there were 2 errors on the cards. That one actually is a 4, but
it looks like we came outside.
Yes, you did. You left through the cave mount. You went outside. The only place to go is unless you want to go back into the Cave of Illusions. I would not recommend it.
No.
So we're on the Lost Citadel map now.
And
yes.
Okay.
Then you get to the essentially the mountain pass. The mountain pass. You can go down the hill to what you see as the beach below, or you can go continue around the pass. Now,
yeah, it looks like there's a little path there, so I guess we'll go that way.
Now that you're out, the main thing is the boat. So, as soon as we can get to our own boat, we can leave this climax.
Can the people who were looking for that adventure type of thing check it because they've now left the underworld?
Yes, anyone who needs adventure as their option could have checked that for the underworld. I think that's Conrad, right?
Even for level 6?
Even for level 6?
Sure, I'll give you for level 6. There was enough.
I was just trying to help those guys.
Sure, Bruce, for level 7. And anyone can check adventure for this if they wished.
Cool, I just need a cunning deed to hit 7.
Would that be a bard's tale? Is that enough for a level 7?
Yes, it would be.
Okay.
That you went through the lower chasms of the Lost Citadel? Of course it would be. Most people don't even return from the Lost Citadel. And it's Fred. You can go essentially.
Magic and monstrosity for Laura.
What is that? It's a
Cave of Illusions, right?
Yeah, but what? Oh, that's for that's like magic, right?
Yeah, magic and monstrosity for level 6.
Sure. Did you mark what you got your check for magic for the last level?
Tellurium room? That was the last time we were in the underworld.
Last time you were in the underworld, what just in general last time you were in the underworld, or was there a specific event? Once more for me, I was speaking at the same time.
It was a tellurium room where the objects were floating through the wall.
Objects are floating through the wall. In this case, you probably saw something like that, and even more in the Cave of Illusions. Sure, I'll let you check it.
Could I check off battle military strategy?
You may not, because there's no battle or military strategy, but I can tell you that if you go to the left or if you go to the up, you're going to hit a battle right now that'll allow you to check it. So.
Okay, you said we want to get back to the boat, though, right?
Yes, and there's a couple of ways to do that. Either
Did we find the treasure we were after?
You found the other half of the map, so now we know the treasure is in the underworld of Isborsk. You can either get the boat to come to you, but you have to get to a beach, or you can move directly to the boat. And you notice to get to the boat, you're going to have to move through the Citadel, it looks like.
All right, so let's go see what's up this way.
Okay. And you come to a dock there. And at the dock, you're attacked by more of the minions than nurslings.
Oh.
And this will be your battle.
Okay.
And essentially, we need to start with Fred, so that Fred will automatically get his check of battle here. He'll get the first card we flip. Conrad, I'm not going to update the.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll tell you if there,
I don't
there
think
were two cards
if
that
it's
are.
only 2 cards. I mean, the flipping still looks like it's working. And I didn't want to mess up the recorder at this moment. All right, Fred. Here's your card coming in. 4 of coins. The 4 of coins will be a 4 on the children's table, and you need this to go up a level, correct?
Yeah. Okay.
And, Mike, I'll go ahead and post this because it's a slight change from the one that's because you don't actually move to other things to kill the host. Go ahead, Fred.
Practiced in swordplay, delight in the sport. Your bravery is reckless as you step across the shield wall. Fall and knocked unconscious. The battle must end in a D8 rounds, else you are pulled below the sea to drown. Suffocating in abject delight. Difficulty 14. Advantage, swagger, speed, and guile.
And speed and guile is R. Now,
I don't have that.
It's a very difficult roll, but you're still going to make the check if we get you out of here. If I look at the longboat techniques, the inhuman watchdogs was lost in the caves. But do you have any other swaggering R? Because as
I have no swaggering.
No swaggering, and no make roll. Give me 2 dice and get a 14, 15, or 16, and prove to yourself in this game that you're going to get your first.
Wait, can he ask for catbird?
Do you have any trait bonuses left, like an energetic or a catbird, whatever?
It was really close. He could have acted. Are you energetic, Fred?
Energetic. Let's see here. What was that?
It's a trait.
Yeah. I don't remember if I have that. No.
Okay.
I am bold.
Bold would get you the ability to ignore shaken after the first round. I think there's also another advantage for bold in there, but no, you would have needed energetic to add points.
Bold would let him get a...
Somebody would have had to give us the command pip to start, but all it means now, Fred, is we got to win this battle within 4 rounds. That's plenty of time to win this battle. If you get
it's 7, Red. It's not a half day. It's full day.
It's full day.
7 rounds. I think any of us can easily get through that. But we could all basically go gamingly now and watch Fred die. But that would be nice. How about if I go to Tony and try to end this battle for us instead? Tony, you're going to get the star card. Now the star card. The star card is blade scintillating. Do you have a blade scintillating K?
I do not. No.
You may take it. And I flip another card. How about an ace of swords? Here's Tony the hero. You have a make roll, right, Tony?
Of course.
Okay. Post it in the chat.
But if Tony uses make roll, doesn't that poison the battle for Fred?
Not my type, darling. You carve a path of wretched, flippered fish scraps, success and escape. Further action. Difficulty 11, advantage, skill berserker. Well, I am not a berserker. Darn. Then if I use a make roll, does that sour it so Fred...
It would, you're right. If you use a make roll, so you're going to have to roll this 11 on two dice. You roll twice. You can't use a make roll for battle. Thank you for keeping us honest, Tony, at Fred's expense.
Hey, there we go.
And he made it though, which is great. All right, so we are back in the Lost Citadel. We have killed the minions, the nurslings, who tried to pull us into the water and drowned us. And our leader Fred almost lost his life, but Tony came and saved him. I think that's the first time I've seen Tony kill godlings, but I've never seen him save another player character, which is nice.
He did it by accident.
He didn't know he was doing it.
Don't take it
I'm
from
sure
him.
if you ask Tony, he saves all the player characters.
Fred, check your ignoble and move up your level. I think you get a skill for that. You get a make roll for that, which is really nice. And we'll continue on.
So you're going to level 1, right, Fred? Level 1?
You may be muted.
Yeah, I'm level 1 now.
Okay, so you gain 1 skill for level 1, and then double check your trait bonuses, because you might get extra skills or swaggering techniques for your traits.
Yeah, I'm double checking that now.
Okay, so we'll let him do through his update, and somebody needs to call the boat so it comes to us. Who has the ability to do that, Magic Ones?
Oh, I think I can do that.
How do you do it, Mike?
I'll just go ahead and do that with illusions to send up a flare, an arrow. We are here. Pick us up. Right?
I don't know. That would sound like something you'd have to pre-coordinate. Do you have some way of remotely talking to them or being there on the boat?
Well, I could cast an illusion of myself on the boat.
It could be. Give me a tasking roll.
Tasking for level 6. That's a
9.
9. 2 dice.
2 dice.
9.
9. Okay, so Mike has contacted the boat. The boat comes our way. The boat picks us. The boat picks us up, and off we go.
But look at all those red dots that we're missing. There could be more stuff.
Which red dots you're missing?
Oh, look at that!
All the ones off of the water.
Areas to explore. Come on.
Well,
Did we get the gold, or do we get the? We got the map to the gold, though, right?
Yes,
Wasn't that what
the
we
map to the gold. We've completed that. I'm for one of maybe just going on, leaving to the epilogue.
All right.
We're not democracy anymore. We lost a total of like 5 longboat techniques.
Oh,
We'll make those up at the beginning of the next mission for methodical bonuses.
Probably will, as long as we aren't roaming around the Lost Citadel. It's up to. I'll allow a vote on it for the moment.
If we lost democracy, it's Fred's call.
Well, but Fred is busy below deck, so while I'm going to vote no. Rusty, would you vote no, not to explore what hasn't been revealed, or did you want to go around more?
I would vote to leave. So no, I don't want to. Definitely do not want to explore.
Yeah, Conrad.
I live in the Madman Morgan world, where we'll eventually come back and get it anyway.
Okay, so I think that's either abstains or he says leave. It's gonna.
That's a leave. Yes.
Yes, and Laura, did you vote leave or explore?
Let's get going. I need treasure to level up.
And
get to the treasure.
So if you're looking for treasure, there might be treasure somewhere else in the blackened area of the map here, though, right?
Get a treasure map.
Oh, you want to continue on the treasure map? That makes sense. Mike.
I'm looking for crafty.
Are you going to leave Tony all by himself here as the only person to vote with Tony?
Am I going to leave Tony all by himself? Well, let me see. Let me take a quick glance at my. I've already got prudence.
Take prudence for leaving Tony.
Let me take.
No, you're not leaving Tony. You're just not voting with him. We're not going to leave him behind.
See, that's the Laura that I know.
Yes.
Let's leave Tony. Let's let him get injured. Whatever. Yes, I see how Laura.
I think it's okay that you lose both legs.
Yeah, I don't have any particular ignobles that would make me vote with Tony. I'm going to say no.
You're not. I don't think I'm going to reward any ignobles for this. And Bruce, did you want to stay with Tony at least so that he doesn't feel left out, or do you want it to be unanimously against Tony that we should leave?
After Tony loses his legs, we can start taking duplicate organs like kidneys and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a fear of this table.
And you have a fear of the table, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can see what you left behind.
Oh, I will never subordinate self for clan honor, for honor, duty, or clan affinity. So yeah, I don't want to go back, and the rest of you can suck it.
Oh, I see a gold there that was in the middle unused.
That whole treasure city in the middle could have been, or I see a sea coast that's made of precious coral. I also saw this sandcastle with the silver dot on it. But yeah,
I just saw drowning in the depths. I don't know about you all.
That is a cool sandcastle, though.
It is a cool sandcastle, and one day when you come back, I'll tell you exactly what it really meant.
Yeah, that's right, Madman Morgan. We're coming back, baby.
Nothing is ever wasted. You had half an underworld in Isborsk. All right, I'm back on the campaign map, and you guys are at the Lost Citadel. Let's see if I can find your boat. And Fred, we thank you for your service as the party leader for the moment. I'm going to pass it off to. How about if I go to Bruce?
All right.
And Bruce will make the decisions for a little while. Let me see if I can find Bruce's character here. I think this is Bruce's character. He's the young kid of the group.
No, I'm not young kid.
He's a level 7.
No, but it's his character. He's the young kid character.
Oh.
No, I don't think so. If you go to...
well, wait a second. That was Greg.
Look at player F. I put my little thing on player F on the defensive modifier.
Go ahead and grab your character and put it down into the Caspian Sea next to the Lost Citadel where our boat is, Bruce.
All right, let me see. Campaign... The Caspian Citadel? Is that Lost Citadel? Is that what you want?
Yes.
by the Saurian lands.
Okay.
No, Bruce is not the oldster of the group. He's, I think he's one of the characters from the new Viking series. Okay, so Bruce, epilogue to get us home. We're going to head all the way back to Kiev, I believe. Let me see if that's where we're going to head. Yes, we're going to head all the way back to Kiev, close to where Laura estates are. And as part of that, let me check real quick to make sure that we still have a rival. We have not met the rival this mission, I believe. We went the whole mission without meeting the rival. Yeah, Misha Linus. We never met Misha Linus, the convert to the faith of Aquata. So she could still come up. She's also upset because she was the one that contracted us to bring the bones of Oglesfet to Moot Erakan, and we ended up destroying them. So that wouldn't be a good thing. First card of the epilogue. Remember, looking really for kings, queens, knights, and knaves. A 2. A 2 is nothing. It's just going to be a personal event. Bruce, who gets the personal event?
Fred does.
Fred does? Boy, gosh, you're just so mean to this guy.
I'll take it.
It's a brand new player with the group, and suddenly, you know...
That's a level 1 ignoble waiting to happen.
It could be, yeah. How about this?
Or a vicious wound.
Yes, or a vicious wound.
Or a vicious wound.
They're about the same in this game. Fred, you have been called to an audience with the local nobility. So somewhere along the river route, let's say in Merman, the local nobility asked you to come ashore because they had questions for you. You can accept this or decline it, and I'll allow you to make a difficult roll, which is a 12 for you, for a hunch.
And that's going to be on 2 dice?
Nice.
Nope. No. Didn't make it.
You did not make it, so you don't have a hunch. So now it's just up to you whether you 50-50 want to guess. If it's, did you want to go and accept an audience with the local nobility or not? None of us are with you, and none of the crew is with you.
Yeah, why not? Let's risk it.
You will pick up the trait bold. Are you bold? You're
Yes.
already bold. It's too bad we can't double check it. But you do get to check an ignoble. So basically all they wanted you to do was invite you to dinner. You are a noble, I believe. If not, they make you a minor knight of their court there.
Oh,
so
okay.
You can be a knight of Merman.
Okay.
And you may check probably growth or Bard's Tale or adventures. A lot of things that you could possibly check for that at level 1.
Growth is a good one to
We'll
check.
take growth, yeah.
Yeah, growth is a very good one to check. And I
you
flipped the
said
next.
I gained what else? An ignoble?
The ignoble of a growth.
That's the growth. That's the
Oh,
ignoble.
okay.
And the actual title you can write on your in your character sheet is you're a knight of Merman.
Alright.
I put that in the chat, and you can see the Merman is up here. It's next to a frontier old garrison, and it's pretty much in dead center of the frontier. If you get enough wealth that you can start building a citadel someplace, that would not be a bad place to put it, since it'd be close to friends and allies. The next card that I flipped is a queen. A queen can get us home. So basically, our present patron, who was, what did we start this mission at? It was so long ago. The party is approached by the caravan of people who essentially needed us to... did I go into the wrong one? No, it was a caravan of people. A Reich. Does anyone even remember that? Boy, this was so long ago. Reich was sort of the oddball Zare guy. And he's probably happy that we completed this mission. We're back at Kiev. Thank you, Bruce. Your job is done. I'll move on to my character. Will be the patron of the mission, but that never usually makes sense because I can't make the decisions. Rusty, we're going to move on to you. So Tamoon is going to be the guy that is going to make some decisions around Kiev for us.
How did you minimize your figure?
Once again, Bruce?
How did he minimize his figure on this map?
It was probably me, and you mean, how did I make him big like that?
Or small?
So if you grab like it's just a box of a normal folder, you can resize it. When you click on it, you can resize it.
It
you
puts
see that?
handles on it, Bruce, the first time you click on it.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
So
Yes.
we are a new mission, correct?
We're a new mission. But before we go through the mission, we might as well do a Administer's Affairs to some of the people that have got some money, right?
Yes.
Let's invest some money. We'll go around the table and we'll start with Rusty. Rusty, did you have some leftover money that you had to invest, correct?
Yes.
Let me see if I have that sheet somewhere. I'm building estates. I'm opening it up. And building estates. Why don't you hire Fred to help you build your estate so he can check desires fulfilled?
Sure, I'll hire Fred to start building my estate.
Fred, at level 1, why don't you check the ignoble crafty deeds desired fulfill, and I will also give you as a bonus for that, since we're in Minister's
Those are two
Affairs.
different ignobles, Red.
You may
Red, those are two different ignobles. I don't know if you
crafty deeds is not the same as desires fulfilled. Forgive me. Let's go to desires fulfilled, profit, revenge, and power, Fred. And I will give you one of these 3 skills that you can also take with it. You may take either courtly grace for your actions, goldsmith for your actions, or steward for your actions. So pick one of those 3 skills.
I'll take goldsmith.
Goldsmith, and you may also then check desires fulfilled. And Rusty has hired you for the moment. Rusty, your estate is you do not have estate at this moment, correct?
That's right.
Okay, so you may put your estates in the civilized lands, or you may put them in the frontier holdings.
Bruce, where are you going to put your university?
I wanted to put it next to Conrad's place. Just maybe I need protection. And
You guys are sort of building down in the Caucasus region of modern Russia, around Rostov, Rusty. If you remember your
Yeah, I know where Rostov is.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I'll put my estate near Rostov.
Okay, I'm going to put you down in there. Let's make you a little smaller. And we're going to put you right here, close to the garrison that was there, but between Conrad's and between the... you actually could block the river from his ships if he gets out of line. And of course, we got also Citadel of Cyrul the God-Killer in there.
Now, Red,
Yeah, that's so.
was the card
He's
in
attached to the. He's
Yeah, there's
attached to
been
the
no card
river,
flip yet,
though.
Mike. So I'm going to go with Rusty then, and Rusty, you're in the Frontier Estates. I'm going to flip a card for you, and I give you the Moon card. It's unfortunately not a good card. Let's find out what it said. That may be the exact same card that Bruce got. I hope not, but
It's definitely a Bane.
it's definitely a Bane. It's definitely the Moon card. The Moon card says that if the neighboring city-state is trait disordered, the strike hits the player character's estates, any work's effort is lost. So if Tamoon Arcan, which is the closest, I believe, on our map, it is. If that is... I got to open up another document here on my estate. Where's my campaign? Red campaign. Looking. My campaign of the old. Okay.
Wait, is it inverted?
It is inverted.
It is inverted. It's
So
a Bane.
that's not recruited into a major cabal. No one is asking if he wishes to join. He just got recruited.
On the Moon? Yeah. Okay. So we don't have to worry about whether or not they'll know a local estate. Rusty, basically, you have picked up a friend from your actions.
You have either
The friend has picked up Rusty as I
discovered
said.
your duplicity.
I see that
Mark
Conrad's
for
already posted it
retribution
for us.
and
Thank you. Okay, so let me find out what cabal is in this place. I'm back there, and I'm grabbing Tamoon Arcan. Going down. I got... And here are your choices, Rusty. Unfortunately, none of them are that good.
It wouldn't be Rusty if they were.
Yeah, so Rusty, you have to either be part of the Dwarven Kingdoms, the Saurian Chieftains, or a Servant of the Grey One. And I do believe a Servant of the Grey One is probably more in line with the way you play your character.
I don't have any idea what the Grey One is.
The Grey One, well...
The dwarves, I thought, didn't communicate with non-dwarves.
Right, but the Dwarven Kingdoms, just to the south on the map, on the big old map, you can see Dwarven Kingdoms. Those guys have been next to civilization for so long that they know to trade. They basically can mimic human behavior to a large degree. And having them is not necessarily a disadvantage in traveling in the underworlds, except for the fact that the underworld you're traveling in next is controlled by the Avar dwarves, who none of the dwarves get along. The Saurian chieftains are those dark green areas that go all over, and that's the lizard men. It's to have them as an ally is not a bad thing, except for the fact that the civilized people won't like that, because most of the Saurian chieftains are blood eaters of humans. And the gray one would be he represents the servants of a servant that used to be the dark one. So imagine like a fallen angel.
I'll take the gray one.
Okay, yeah, I think it matches your character. All it means is that you're more into raw power and advancement, a little less to reestablishing the civilized world all over.
So the Cabal is basically followers of the gray one?
Correct. Yes. Yeah, Saruman is probably a good analogy, and Conrad's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that would be your card flip, because it's single card flip. I go on to Conrad. Conrad, you have an excess of monies, right?
I don't remember picking up gold unless it was at the end, right?
If you marked it on your character sheet, it would have been all the way from it's not from this adventure, but did you already spend your money from the Isborsk underworld? And that's where I'm thinking none of us did, because we went right into another.
So this character, I swapped out characters along the way, I think. Let me check here.
If you wish, go back to your main guy and see if he had money to spend. I'll go on to Laura. Laura, you have money to spend, right?
I do. I actually have two windfalls, and I have the note that the first one can gain another estate or improve it. It's inside next adventure, so I decided to improve that one.
Okay, so you are outside of Kiev, and I'm going to flip a card for you improving your estate outside of Kiev. And I got a 10, but it's a cup and it's inverted. Now, inverted cup in civilized land, I don't know if Conrad is going to post it for us, or if I need to post it, but I'll put it in the chat for us here. It says that the Curia Regis, so that's the ruling body in Constantinople, asked for clarification on why you're building this castle. And the player character must submit his designs. He loses his chance to make improvements this season and must wait. He does not roll this downtime for any improvement. He gets to try again next opportunity. You've been stymied a second time in a row, it seems like. He gains additional windfall next year, and he pours that into the effort, thus spending possibly twice the treasure for the same improvement. Other than that, possibly the Curia Regis will forget all about the request by the next time the player rolls. So essentially it's just a card of, you did not do anything this season, but you said you had a second windfall, correct? 2.
Which looks like that'll be wasted. I was going to.
2 mints in 1. I tell you what you can do. I will either let you keep that, and you can roll it next season and roll it over, whether you have more money or not, or I'm going to flip another card for you, and it'll be a totally separate event. Do you want to wait, or do you want to take a flip?
I guess I'll wait.
Okay. Mark that money down. Mike, did you make any money from the Isborsk underworld that you wanted to set up an estate somewhere?
If I made money from the Isborsk underworld, I don't think I wrote it down. Which mission was that?
If you didn't write it down, then you probably didn't get any.
Yeah, I think I did.
I go on to Fred got his bonus during downtime because he helped Rusty build his estates. I go on to Tony. Tony, you got a windfall, correct?
Indeed, I did, yes.
Okay, let's see if I can get something good for Tony here. Now, Tony already has the big walls, right? Is that correct?
My estates, I have enchanted bulwark, yes.
Yes, so you already got an A. How about if we give you, and it says the 5 of cups, but we're going to call it the 4 of cups by the words, but it is a cup regardless, and it is not inverted, which is a good thing. So, let me put that in the chat. You are not in civilized lands. You are
E storied heritage.
You are in the you gain Labyrinthine Passages D.
Oh, D.
On an ordinary roll, or storied heritage on a tasking. If the estates already have these characteristics, the wealth was invested in placating imps and delvers, but the net result was only prevented decline. So on an ordinary roll, you pick up Labyrinthine Passages. On a tasking roll, you pick up a storied heritage behind your keep. Which is more appealing to you? The easier roll at the moment or the harder one? And your level...
I kind of want to have the Labyrinth Passages.
Okay, that's only an ordinary roll, and for your level, that's only a 4 on 2 dice.
I have succeeded.
You've succeeded. And I'm looking at this, and I believe you have to get at least 3 before you gain a benefit of the estate, strategic benefits. Let me see. Yes.
Yes, it is.
But you already have A and D.
D, yes, A and D. So I'm close to a few of them.
So for instance, if you pick up C sometime, you would have that benefit. That you would gain the catbird seed at the start of any single battle of the adventure. So you can use that as an extra flair. I go on to Bruce. Bruce, where are you going to put your university?
I thought I'd put it next to, right at the fork of those 2 rivers near the Citadel of Cyrul, the god killer.
Let me...
Cyrul the god
Cyrul.
It's that story. People don't know it.
I died mispronouncing that name.
You're down here where the real estate's getting really crowded down here.
I thought maybe right there between the rivers.
Good. Go ahead. What happened to it?
I just moved it between the rivers.
Let me make them a little bigger here. Between the rivers, right here at the fork is really good. And we're going to let you flip a card. It's for it's in Frontier
I'm also
Lands.
going to ask for a second treasure. Because when I got the bad one, saying that I couldn't get an estate, I never did use that treasure. But I could redirect it to the university if I could.
How did you hold on to it? See, that would be the big thing. You had 2 treasures, you're saying, but you got one of them recently out of Isborsk. Where did the other one come from?
When I had it and I drew the card that said that I could never have an estate.
Yes.
And I was wondering if, because I had a treasure, I could redirect it to something.
No, it probably got lost along the way. It probably was invested in the idea of building the university. It probably was taken by the crew. You probably gambled it away. Who knows? There's 1,000 reasons.
Can I get a dice roll on that?
Sure. Give me a 25 on 2 dice.
All right.
No, you can't make it. We're in the Minister's Affairs. There are no make rolls in Minister's Affairs. No, Bruce, you can't. You've already got so many talents in life. I can't give you an easy one. How about if I?
Well, but it does go to say, Red, is
people that are holding
treasure. People that are holding treasure need to hold the treasure, right, someplace. So you won't put 2 treasures together. You only have 1 treasure, right? Does that make sense?
Yes, that's another thing that's going on. But also, it's a matter of once you finally get a place to store your treasures, it might be. Now, Bruce, you want to be thinking about patronage. Now, you need to talk to the. Let me see if I can find their names here. They are the pierogi sky realm. You can see them. They're floating over the Black Sea, just south of Tamoon or Arakan. I'm going to move them close to you, okay? Just as a reminder to you. You need to bribe them off somehow in the future, or they're going to start attracting gods to sort of usurp authority over your little school of magic there. But let me flip a card for you, and I flipped a sword. It's inverted. An inverted sword in the frontier. How bad could it be? It could be pretty bad. It says the builders say they were just a few dollars short, and the effort was suspended because of the winter. When and if anyone continues the work next spring, the previous effort was destroyed, washed away, cracked, ill-designed. You flog the people, and they bring in a fresh crew, but you lost your investment this time.
Well,
okay.
I can't win for losing on this building.
Yeah,
stuff.
you well, you know, if you build in the swamp between 2 rivers, you might expect that they might flood, or you can blame Ogmar, playing with the tides. That he said, what was just destroyed there? Let me look. Oh, that was just Bruce's estates. That's all right. He can clean the mud up.
This is Fred. Could I go help Bruce?
Yeah, unfortunately, you were tied up helping
okay.
Rusty this go around. Yeah, and I go on to my character.
Can I help Bruce? No, wait, I won't help Bruce.
This is, yeah, Mike, you're
You
really
can
pushing
still
that
might-
hard. You're going to get a dagger in the back.
I have an ignoble for it.
I know, and I do have a treasure from Graft, and as a level 2 person, I will check my growth for starting my first estate. I flip a card for my first estate, and I got the Wheel of Fortune. And look at this. I'm going to shuffle for you, Tony. And I got myself
You
a
didn't
7.
shuffle well enough.
A 7 point. Still didn't shuffle well enough. Do I want to join everyone else in the swamp down here? No, I'll probably pick a different place just so we can have some other places around the map. You remember, I think this is my guy. And because I look too much like that, I'll use my old guy, Ungmar, and I'll put myself up here next to Bella Zero. And my card flip of a 9 gave me, it's in the frontier, a 9. I can gain enterprising export on an ordinary roll. Sure, yeah, that sounds like a good thing to have. And I need an ordinary roll. I should have somebody else make it while I'm... And this is... Ogleville. Not to be confused with Margaritaville. And my 2 dice roll. I need a 7 on 2 dice. And once again, I have just squandered all my money. Maybe I should have recruited my friend Fred to help me, but he was busy. So I have I have a place picked out close to the river here between Yaroslav and Bello Zero, but I did not get anything for it. And finally, we come up to the new mission. Who did I say was going to get the...
Wait a minute.
So, Red,
Go ahead,
I did look on my character sheet, and I did receive gold from Bruce in Isborsk.
Okay. How about if I give you the Hermit card?
Well, so what I was going to suggest is, since Bruce's academy went down, is it possible I give it back to him?
Sure. Bruce's academy gets that Hermit card. It's not averted. If the neighboring city-state is rebellious, anarchy hits the players' estates. No further improvement until the descent is removed from the city-state. Okay, Bruce, I'm going to give you an extra mission, a submission, that in the next mission, which actually is going to involve or at least if not the next mission, the one following it, the Sea of Azov is right south of us here. Let me just get a little X. Right here, this is where we're going to eventually trap Aquata in this little X here. And when we do that, you need to help out Tamoon Arakan because it's going to suffer some hardships from that, Bruce. You follow?
Okay.
So, as part of the next mission, you have to figure out how to make a whole bunch of money to pay off the merchants in Tamoon Arakan, or once again, next season, you're going to lose another year on your estates. And you wanted to own property. You had a nice carefree life, and then you decided, hey, I want to be a real estate investor.
An academy, if you will.
An academy, yes.
A teacher, a shaper of minds.
He wanted to be Dumbledore.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll teach him.
He wanted to be Dumbledore. It's an interesting analogy and probably really true. All right, I'm closing that up. I got my map here.
So, before we begin another mission, Laura brings a point of order, which is we have finished an Outlands mission. Shouldn't we be shifting to Era 10?
No, we're not going to shift in mid-mission. In fact, because we're in we have another hour left, we're going to go right into another barony and stay with barony probably in the next week after that. Just because we're trying to finish up plots. If you guys all wanted to... story arcs. If you all wanted to quit right here, it's okay with me, and then next week we can start with Era 10. But if we continue into the next mission, which is more what my druthers would be, we're going to head, and let me basically list it before we venture list. I'm going back to my 9 wise men. And we finished up the 9 wise men, and we go to the sunken cage. All right, we're contacted by Bogart Crit. Does anyone remember him or not?
Nope.
So Borgar Crit is head of the academy in Constantinople. He contacts us with a magic portal, or it could be he's a master of illusions as well. And he basically says that he understands that we're trying to search to capture the Sea Queen, Aquata, and he's in favor of that. But he says in order to do this, you are really going to need the Horn of Boar, all right? And so from the lore, a boar was a primordial Norse god, the son of Buri. He married the giantess Brestla, who has a daughter by the frost giant Bolthorn. And it goes on and on. I'm going to post that in the chat for anyone who's interested. But
probably just me. Oh God.
Bogdan Kurt has basically said that Boar is a person. He created a horn, and he used that horn to summon his children to supper. And if you guys can acquire that horn, you can pull Aquata into an area like the Sea of Azov, and then reduce the sea there to trap her. Otherwise, she's going to be too elusive on you. Tony, do you follow?
Yes, I do.
Okay, terrific. And let's see. You must have some faith, else give me the jug of Glittner, and I know what to do with it. So you have the jug of Glittner, Tony. Do you give it to Bogar Kurt? In which case we will be generating a fresh mission from scratch. Or if you want to get revenge on the sea goddess, then he says you need to go to Sigtuna and talk to your fellow kinsman up there. And when you get to Sigtuna, either grab the horn or convince them that you're going to borrow the horn, bring it back to the Sea of Azov, and then summon Aquata to the Sea of Azov. Do you follow the mission?
Yes, I do. I do not want to give up the.
I wouldn't think so.
What's it called?
It's sort of a. Now. The motive of the mission is going to force all the queen encounters this time to be inverted.
I love inverted.
What's different about that?
Could we just hire them to bring the horn over?
Well, you'd have to
I
contact
think they just
them.
hired us.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
okay.
just to summarize again, so you got a guy down in Constantinople. I'll just make one guy really big so you can see who it is. He contacts us telepathically in Kiev and says, in order to get the sea goddess Aquata, and I think we still have the sea goddess Aquata. Yeah, she's up on a tab, Fred, if you wanted to actually see what she looks like. And if you want to get the sea goddess Aquata to come to the Sea of Azov, and then there lower the tides and trap her there so that you can eventually kill her and put her in the bottle, you're going to need the Horn of Boar. And the Horn of Boar currently is located in Sigtuna, and that's at the top of the map. So, who would like to be the primary of this mission, since I'm not going to be the primary? Who's our next lowest besides that? Is that Conrad?
I'm 2.
I'm not going to give it to Fred again. The 2 in a row. Does anyone
I was right behind Fred. I mean, it was...
Yeah. Does anyone
I'm not the lowest level, but the occult scholar and follower of the old gods is saying, "Hey, we're going after a horn of the parent of the father of the gods."
Yes.
I'm just totally willing to step up.
What's your level, Mike?
6 going on 7. I'm not anywhere near lowest, but
Conrad, if you give it to Mike, I'll let Mike be the principal of this mission.
I certainly would if that was power.
I would say that's prudence.
That'll work.
Okay, so Conrad has stepped aside as your assistant in command. Let me make a look at your longboat really quick here. And your longboat, Mike, your character currently is in what position? You're the Hierophant. This is Hugin, right?
Yep.
Okay. So the Lady Moradin is technically the high commander of the boat. She can remain so. I got our second Primus is Tony's character Cyrul. Bruce is in charge of the sails and the sailing and the navigation. Lance is Greg Morrison. He was first Optio. Rusty is second cohorse of the sailors. Rungar is third Remigens of the rowers. Ralph, wait a second, Rungar. I got 2 Conrads here. There you go. Conrad, you're going to have to either give up third Remigens or Provisioner to Fred's character, Svein.
I'll take third Remigen as my as Rungar.
That's Rungar. Very good. And I'm going to put Ralph. I'm going to put you in. Is that IE or EI? I think it was EI, wasn't it, Fred?
Yeah, it's EIN.
EIN, terrific. I'm going to go ahead and add you to the ship crew here. And we still have Hemming as our scapegoat, and we have a whole bunch of NPC grumblers aboard. Wow, do we have a lot of grumblers. How did we get 10 grumblers? Was that the last time Mike was our leader? He gave us 10 grumblers?
Possibly.
I'm teasing. I tease
I would have
Mike.
joined in on that.
Didn't we kill off a grumbler?
It wouldn't help. You would just make a worse one. The way you defeat grumblers is through encounters. An encounter will come up where a grumbler either pushes himself to the forefront, and in other words, he takes the act, not us, or we placate him some way. It's just the fact that there's many of them doesn't really affect us that much.
I doubt arguing for party command would be crafty deeds, cunning skills for level 6, but I'll ask anyway.
You need us to go to level 7, correct?
Correct.
I'll give it to you for accepting the mission to get the horn.
Nice.
All right. So we got the unscrupulous one that doesn't care a thing about his subordinates is the guy going now for the horn. This is probably not a good mission for us to be on, but it isn't the worst one we've been on. Let's count clevers to start with. So, Rusty, are you clever?
I am now clever.
How about Conrad?
Clever, yes.
Laura? Laura, are you clever?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Fred, are you clever?
Yes.
Terrific. Tony, are you clever?
Indeed.
And Bruce, are you clever?
Bruce?
Are you awake? Are you muted?
We took 3 of his monies as he tries to build his Dumbledore estate.
I am.
Are you clever? Yes. No. Okay, so let me pull off one. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clevers, I believe. Let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clevers. 7 clevers. Very good. That's a huge amount. And how many methodicals do we have? I am not methodical. Rusty.
Methodical, yes.
Okay, how about Conrad?
Not methodical.
Or Laura?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Fred?
No.
Tony?
Yes.
And Bruce?
Yes.
All right, you guys, if you flip over to the longboat technique, you can see the ones that we got. I'm going to put back watchdogs that we tend to like to have, and that will be our ship for the moment. And I move on to the first set of encounters. Let me make sure that there is no other... we do receive a bonus from in the finances for starting this. Bogar Crit gives us a bonus of a local group of shipwrights comes and fixes one thing on our boat, and it will take away the undamaged portion of our boat. That's nice.
Oh man, can we become vermin free?
Are we healed of wounds from last adventure?
Yes, we are.
Make rolls reset. Any skills used reset.
I will give us vermin free, but then I took away our camaraderie because we took some of the men and told them that you're on permanent rat catching duty. Natural forces are constantly causing problems, so anything that's related to bad weather, winds, terrain, bugs, heat, mice, phlegm, all of this during encounters is going to be a bad thing for us. So if we have lots of travel encounters up the seas as we go to Sigtuna, it's not going to lead. It's not going to be very good for us. And our rival is the gentleman from Isborsk, who was trying to keep the world ender, the monster, in the underworld, and he still is against us, messing with the older gods, and in this case, even getting a horn, which could agitate the world-ending beast that he's been trying to keep under Isborsk for generations, and he still has his smoky sprinters, the guys that are psionically enhanced, that they run themselves to death whenever they commit to a battle. All right, and that all goes on Mike. So Mike, you're facing against Jacobus. He has his sprinters, and if we're all ready, we're going to take our first set of encounters. The Lost Citadel is going bye-bye for now, and we're on the campaign map. You can also see that Sons of the Seven Seas tattoo. I think I added that for this mission. If you're keeping score on the tattoos, I think you've already seen maybe half a dozen of them. And we're heading toward Isborsk as the first River voyage to reach Isborsk is setting A, and we're going to use a port stopover and the tables there instead. So I'm going to go ahead and give you movement all the way up to Isborsk, Mike.
Okay.
And
isn't there another
grab your
world
character
that you
here.
get treasure from here? I mean, if we're here,
we would
right?
have to deviate into the underworld of Isborsk in order to collect the treasure.
I'm fine with that. If we need to go into the underworld, Tony, before you say things like that, know that I will always take an underworld route if available when in command.
Bruce needs money for his academy.
Oh, wait, it's for Bruce? Ooh, that's cognitive dissonance because it's for Bruce.
I need it too.
Oh, it's for Lady Moradin? Hey, if you guys need to go into the underworld for money, I'm fine with that. The underworld is wonderful and pretty and lovely.
Did you guys see that underworld map come up or not?
Nope.
Let me make sure it's shared. No, it's not. How about if I shared it now?
Well, there's something. Well, there you go. Oh, the Isborsk underworld.
There you go.
Now you know how you get into the Isborsk underworld, right?
Yes, we did it before.
We ride the dragon. So I go back to the campaign map, Mike. If you wish to go into the underworld here and try to pursue the gold of Gindry, the Geld of Sindri, we can do that right now, or you can hold off on that for a follow-up mission and continue on to Sigtuna for the horn. But,
we're going into an underworld, and I like underworlds, and the last time we rode a dragon, I gained 2 traits and some swaggerings out of it, so I like dragons. As a matter of fact, I am a dragon worshipper.
So before we go in the underworld, we have to first resolve the fact that at Isborsk, we have to deal with the fact the place is ransacked, famine and pestilence. And Fred, just to make sure that you're fully frightened as I am with a low-level person, they're trying to enter an underworld here without a Delver company. They're just going to go down there as if this is D&D. But it's
so we don't have a single Delver in the party.
well, we might have actual Delvers in the party, but a Delver company would bring. It'd be like a construction company.
You guys should have told me this earlier. I could have took Delver.
We would have
it'd be like 200 guys going.
Yeah,
with
we
us,
would.
right?
We would need
To
the
erect barriers.
1,000 men and the class distinction of their caste and well, but it's neither here nor there. Okay, so let's see what.
But that being said, we can't bring a Delver company because they'd have to ride the dragon. So the Delver company would.
Yeah, they just start digging.
They would meet you there with the contracts and everything else to interact with the guys in the underworld.
All right, let me find my dragon table. It's somewhere in the fundamentals booklet. Yeah, Mike, you're basically saying that we're going in the underworld, right?
That's just phase A.
It's just phase. Well, we haven't even gotten to phase A yet.
This is sub-phase A.
This is before phase A. Yeah. So on we go. Let me get to the grappling on the neck, zone of terror. Okay, I'm there. Who's going to go first? Rusty. Rusty can go first.
Of course.
I flip a card.
Give me that bane.
The 8 of Cups in the zone of terror. Did you have this to post, Mike, or do I need to post it?
I'm looking if we have dragon.
I can't remember.
I'm going to go ahead and post it until you guys figure it out. Go ahead and read out, Rusty.
Taunt and command the beast to deal with you first. That sounds like me, I guess. Fail in selecting players suffers shaken penalty. Okay, difficulty 11, trait, advantage, trait something. I can't.
Bold.
Bold? Okay, I am trait bold, so I'm looking for an 11.
11 on 3 dice to keep from being shaken. You're still in the zone of terror, though.
Only 8 on the first roll.
And Fred, you probably can check battle for this again. I would not check heroics for this because it would mean that the next time you meet something heroic, it must be dragon quality or better. So, but battle is definitely a worthy check for this. I'm going to go on to Conrad. Conrad, your card was going to be a 7. Rusty is still in the zone of terror, and Conrad.
Sevens are always great.
Yeah, it looks like we don't have that in the tool.
That dragon is equivalent foul.
Laura says it's equivalent foul.
I was hoping it was the equivalent great, but all right.
It is equivalent of great if you, but you would have to actually defeat it, Tony.
Oh, we just want to ride it.
Yes, you're just trying to get out of the zone of terror onto the thing. Go ahead, Conrad. That's your 7.
Find something in the surrounding to deflect the lash of flame. Success and selecting player gains the Fury Pip, but fail and suffer a vicious wound. Difficulty 11. Advantage Blade Ingenious. That's A, which I do not have, so I'm rolling 2 dice looking for the 11. We don't have any mods.
You have make rolls though.
How about I burn off the my Fury Pip. Once permission to start an engagement, may sacrifice swagger. I don't want to do that. That's no good.
You can gain the Fury Pip by energetic.
Yeah, that's the one I want. I got an energetic, so I'm gonna use once per adventure Fury Pip in one situation or battle. So Fury Pip is +2 to the roll. Am I remembering correctly? Looking for a 9.
2 dice for a 9 or vicious wound. You're going to continue with. Woo.
There you go, baby.
You picked up Blade Ingenious by that as well, or locked it as glorious. Laura, you're still in the zone of terror. Laura is going to get an 8. The 8 in the zone of terror for Laura. I'm posting it right now. I think that wasn't that what Rusty got.
Yeah, same as Rusty.
And the beast to deal with you first. Fail and selecting player suffers shaken. Difficulty 11, advantage trait bold, which I am. I made it.
And Laura's still in the zone of terror. Mike, how about if I give you a card flip and I give you a good old... you already fixed that one? It's not. It is 6 of swords, but it has the 7 on it, correct, Conrad?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Give Mike a 6 here, though, and give him a chance to get better valor.
I have better valor at glorious.
Well, then...
Avoid the flaming breath of the monster by protecting yourself behind cover, staying clear of the path of the dragon swinging neck. Avoid vicious, difficulty 9, better valor. Whoa! Whoa, there we go.
Mike is still in the zone of terror. I go on to Fred. Fred gets the world card. Let's see what the world card says. How bad can it be? Couldn't be that
One of
bad.
your tables, it can be pretty bad.
Nah, it couldn't be that bad, could it? Let's see if I got major taros from this. I'm not sure if I even have major taros for this. The major taros may actually count like personal combat. Yeah, I don't have a dedicated a major tarot, so I'm going to just basically treat that as a non-card. I'm going to give you, sorry, Fred, I'm going to give you a knave instead, with apologies. Zone of Terror knave, and just
it's a bane.
It is, and for what it's worth, but there is no banes on this table. Fred, just again, we're sort of are giving the Reader's Digest of this because these guys have already done that. In order to get to the Isborsk underworld, you go down into a chasm and jump on a dragon, and then you agitate the dragon enough, and it flies you into the underworld. So they're using it like a ferry system, and that's why you're in this zone of terror until you actually can grapple onto the dragon someplace. And here's your card.
You do have a major terror on this table, Red, just FYI.
Yeah. Where?
On page 278.
Let me go down.
Well, can resolve that.
Go ahead and read your thing out, Fred.
Okay, shout and inspire. Get all to see this as just another animal that needs killing. Pale and all players suffer shaken. Difficulty 9, advantage skill rabble rouser, which I do not have.
And I'm doing a quick read on that dragon world, and I'm going to call it a quest.
Someone did the pip earlier, right?
Oh, that was me.
But that was just for him, not for the party. But Red just said the world is a quest pip of 1, correct?
Yes, we have a quest pip of 1 turned on now from that.
So it's 8.
An 8 to avoid being shaken. All players.
Okay. Hey.
Hey, that's all we want. We go on
Good
to
job.
Tony. Tony, I'm going to give you a 10.
Okay.
I'm going back to the start of this. I think it was a 270.
Let's see here.
Hind leg. A 10, Zone of Terror. Coming your way. We have our first rider.
Struck by the swipe of a horn-tipped tail. Success and move to the tail. but fail and suffer a vicious wound. Difficulty 10, advantage trait rugged?
Trait rugged, correct,
okay.
Yes.
I am rugged, so 3 dice of a 10. There you go. I'm on the tail.
Tony is on the tail. He's there. Bruce.
Yes.
Bruce has got a 7.
You want to post that for me, please?
Yep, it's coming. There you go.
Find someone in the surrounding to deflect the lash of flame. Success, and the selecting player gains Fury Pip, but fail and suffer a vicious wound. Difficulty 11, Blade, Ingenious. And I do not have Ingenious. So does anyone want to volunteer for this?
I'll volunteer how, Bruce?
Find someone in the surrounding to deflect the lash of flame.
Oh yeah, but it's not going to be a vicious wound to me. Even if I said, yeah, I'm the guy that's going to deflect the lash, I deflect the lash into you if you fail this roll.
Yeah, no, but the selecting player.
So yes, as the Squire of Moradin,
bastard.
say I'm the one that deflected the lash of flame away from Moradin and into Bruce. Go see if you dodge it, Bruce, with your ingenious blade. Something's going to keep it awake.
In other words, Bruce, you're the selecting player.
Okay, I made it.
Okay, on second go, you made it, but you're still in the zone of death. On to me. I'm going to activate my Fury Pip.
Not death, terror, just terror, not death. Don't say death. Not death.
Terror. Yes, it's not Dance of Death. Yes, if we kill it, it's Dance of Death. Hangman! Conrad has pointed out that I can find cards, ugly cards for what the Hangman would represent, so thank you, Conrad. And the Hangman says that fate is less than kind. Add an extra card to the Dragon's Dance of Death. Each player will take 2 adverse effects. Unfortunately, we're not. Whoa! We're not actually trying to kill this thing, so it's a card that's not gonna affect us at this moment, which is good. Otherwise, we would take 2 cards on the final death blow.
We'd all be saying thank you, Conrad.
And the lovers. I should have stayed on that table rather than going so quickly away from it, but it frightened me. And I go to the lovers card, and the lovers card says, the dragon appears distracted by something other than the party of player characters. So players have the option to instantly escape as a group from the area, and we will accept that. So instead of getting a tactics pip and having us all continue to roll on the table at +1, I will say that the lovers card allowed me to walk forward, calm the beast, get us all aboard on its back. Tony, you don't want to ride in the tail, Tony. Trust me. We all get on the back of the beast, and we all return to the underworld.
Thanks, Red.
All right, so I have tamed the beast. There we go.
That's right. He tamed the beast, and I'm not going to complain about his taming of the beast. That was a wonderful thing to do. But I will check in ignoble for that. Taming the beast is definitely a crafty deed. But I agree with Conrad that you shouldn't be checking ignobles from Q&D tables. So I'm going to say it's exercising prudence that I got the party passed at level 2. Now, riding the dragon across the Isborsk underworld, if you have not done that before, that is definitely a magical event for anyone who hasn't checked magical. It is probably a bard's tale for anyone level 6 and lower, but I'm dealing with a lot of level 7s here, correct?
No, I'm a level 6. I'm level 6.
You may take that bard's tale, Rusty, if you wish.
I'll take it.
And anyone who's level 7, again, is probably going to need some major events in this underworld to actually check anything. I am going over to my Isborsk.
Doesn't riding the dragon, like the last time we rode the dragon, we ended up with like trait bonuses and stuff.
That's correct. I'm not going to resurrect that table, so I'm going to say that it's a little calmer, that it's been ridden in the last decade rather than waiting X amount of years.
Sorry, Fred was trying to get you a bonus.
Yeah, allows me. Well, you could also die on that table too, right?
Yeah, but I got 2 traits from it last time, so you know.
Tony could see things that he should never see.
Yeah. Tony was once again in a position on the tail to witness things he should never see. I'm going to start us at the Barbican Gate. Now, how many players have actually been in this underworld before?
I have. Okay,
good enough. Our leader's been in the underworld before. Any place that's actually been exposed, I will let you move through it without any danger. The same rules apply. I'm going to resurrect that chart on how many of these different route markers or whatever you have to expose. The only thing I need to do is there's a few changes here that
Where does the map point us to?
So the map says that we need to get to. Let me bring that up.
You just deleted some of the stuff.
I did.
Hit it. All right.
If I can get my my draw function working. That is a weird pronunciation. This is our goal right here.
Not the Barbican Gate, but the Monstrous Den, right?
I'm marking it right now, Mike. It did not. There he is. All right. And he is basically about 3/4 to 5/6 the way straight down from where you are, Mike. Can you see where I marked the unique feature? Yes. Does anyone else see the unique feature? Or
I see unique feature.
Terrific.
It's almost, it's quite a bit south of us.
Yeah, it's
It
like
is.
level 5.
It is in. Let's see if I have. It is in the Netherworlds. So in the Netherworlds, we need to reach. Now you remember how you can actually get to the Netherworlds, right? You can cross over at any feature that moves through the green line.
Yeah.
So where to, Mike? And you notice the lock on the beast. This is why Jacobus hates us, is because if we break the locks that keep the World Destroyer stuck in the underworld, that thing will be released on the campaign.
If you didn't hear that, Laura said, "Try not to do that, Tony."
What would make you think I'd do that?
Somebody drew all over my unique feature. It was fun, but
All right.
where to, Mike?
We can move through all the stuff we've been through before, right?
Yes, you may.
So we should probably just go ahead and move to this advance under fire, which is as far as we got before, and then what? Try and go off that left side there and see what we uncover.
Well, you can go through that into more of the unique features in the Iron Mantle, or you can go straight in that direction if you wish, yes.
Iron Man is where all giant things are, right? With the big
I'm gonna
ball,
move.
big
I'm gonna
giant.
move you right to here under the monster's den for the moment.
Sure.
And where would you like to move to? You can continue in this level, which is the corridors of fiends, or you can go to where it says "Advance Under Fire," and you can move from the black area there.
Yeah, so you can go south of the Advance Under Fire and
continue to
go
the
into
advance
there.
under fire and find the break in that wall. So.
Okay.
Except for the Advance Under Fire already takes us out of that wall. That already breaks that wall. Isn't that correct, Red?
It does. We can go into the Iron Mantle, which is really deep.
Technically,
so you can go south, yes.
So I can technically do that.
You could, yes, if you wish.
All right, let's do that, and then you see I'm gonna push to the south, as Rusty said. Iron Mantle.
I'm going to erase it for just a moment while I delete one thing and come back. And where are you going to go from there, Mike?
What? No battle?
Oh, no battle.
I'm gonna kind of aim for that corner. I'm kind of aiming for that route marker to the east of the Netherworlds.
Okay.
It's almost like this underworld stuff is easy.
It can be.
I like the Underworlds. The Underworlds are pretty and calming.
You're going to eat those words, Conrad.
Yeah.
For all of us.
It's like nothing. What are you guys complaining about?
I don't know
Where to, Mike?
There.
What were the route markers again?
Those are our save points.
Yeah, those are essentially places that are safe, and you can leave treasure laden behind there. You can leave men behind there that you can resupply with. It's
You can leave treasure behind that later. You give to Bruce, and he squanders it in the crap table.
he
Building in the
tried,
swamp.
He tried so very hard to build his academy this year, but the contractors were against him, and the locals were against him, and then he received, some extra mission that he had to run. Where to, Mike?
Whoa, right there.
We're in the Netherworlds.
So we hit a barrier. That's a good thing.
That is okay. Yeah, sure.
Now, let's go. I'm going to do that northwest.
Southeast, southwest.
Yeah, why don't we connect these green lines together?
Yeah, northwest. That would be good.
They might, the northwest, those two lines might connect together, but there might be a break. Because, to me it looked like we had a green line across Advance Under Fire, but we hopped it. Okay. So that's no good. So we're going to go ahead and recycle to this southeast again. Looking for a shorter way around. It won't be that easy. What am I thinking?
Okay, denizens on the Iron Mantle. Let me look that up really quick. I got my other useful tables here, and I think that has some Iron Mantle stuff in it. Let me read. Was that in that, or was that in the mission? That might have been in the climax book. I'm trying to remember where that stuff was included. Conrad, you don't remember offhand, do you?
I thought it was in the other useful tables.
No, it's actually in the climax book. Let me read the Iron Mantle. Okay, the Iron Mantle says everything seems to be made of metal here. The objects come to life and live in a cruel order. The sound of the inhabitants moving or fighting will be deafening. Why come here? Human flesh is a grist in the millstone. The denizens need bones to make bread, with a strength beyond all imagination. Avoid the grand halls, cling to the drains and places the Titans are not comfortable going. The monsters here are typically enchanted. You need a great monster, Tony? Will this be the battle?
Yes, I do.
Let's make this the battle with the great monster.
No,
Tony.
No.
Tony.
No, we got level 2s.
No, that's not the one we get.
Come on,
Let's make this.
we can all survive it. It's all
Greatest level 7
It
or
just
level
means
8?
we're trying to escape while he's trying to fight it. He's the one that needs to win. Okay, so it's a great monster. Tony, what does the great monster look like?
No.
Remember, you can always have Lady Horde and call the shield of Einherjar.
You can.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah.
She won't do that for you, Tony. I can tell you that much.
Well, that's
I don't
true.
think she'd do it for any of us.
She might do it for her squire.
Locked in a safe.
I look at that. Conrad even posted, but you posted Netherworlds. You didn't. Netherworlds is.
Because I can see Netherworlds to the left. Yeah.
Netherworlds is a little better than the place you're in.
No,
Tony,
it's the place where it has the hallway where you have all the bad memories.
What is the shape of the great monster, Tony? In general, is it humanoid? Is it beast-like? What's it look like?
It's a diamond
moon.
golem.
Humanoid made of energy.
Okay, so
Four
it's
treasures.
like
don't take Bruce's idea.
No.
it's electricity, but it is shaped as a human, so it has like fists, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and Bruce, you had an idea, you said?
Yeah, it's a diamond
Say
golem.
yes.
No,
He says doesn't have fists. Say no.
Diamond golem.
No, it's got to be iron. No diamond.
Diamond? You can't even kill it, you mean?
No.
You can only defeat it with magic? No, that would be a bad thing.
Iron.
For Tony.
It's got to be iron.
All right, so
gotta
it's
be a
electricity and fists. Everyone sort of said Bruce was wrong. Rusty, tell me something about the electricity forming in its fists. Give me an idea of another type of damage that it inflicts on the party. Does it make you slower? Does it take away traits? That would be really ugly. Unless it's only in battle.
It stuns you for potentially for a round.
Stuns.
Said by the bold man.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to call that stun like you're pinned in era 10. And when you're pinned in era 10, you lose your 3-die advantage until you gain a successful roll. And we're not going to use
That's quite
any,
an extrapolation from stun.
It is. It is.
I tried for something.
It was
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
It was a very
It's the
good
safest one I can think
addition
of.
there, Servant of the Grey One. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this great monster. Tony is the one who really needs to defeat it. So the rest of us, if we really wish, we could take
Escape for now, and I'm
we
starting.
could take
With an
escape.
We all know how great the escape table is.
Oh,
He's taunting us, isn't it?
We all know how successful you actually escape on the escape table.
We may go.
Can't you go gamingly or something?
Let me see if the defensive modifier of this thing is. It's going to be a defensive modifier of 6. That can be canceled with methodical trade if you decided you want to go all in. You do not need to do that if you're just rolling for escape. And we have the large electrical beast that any failed roll results in pinned, where you're going to lose your 3-die advantage until you make a successful roll. Should I use the Banes as Great Banes? Of course I'm going to use the Banes as Great Banes. So we're going to use Banes as Great Banes, and I go to Conrad. No, let's start with Tony. Let's make sure that nobody cheats him out of his kill. Tony, did you want to go brash? Did you want to go calculated? You can go calculated. You could do that 1 kill right now on the big electrical creature.
I will try to use my killer instinct
Okay.
on it. That is an N. Do we have, what's the, are we using that longboat technique? Vermin free N.
free.
Yes.
Yeah, you asked for that specifically.
Yes,
Okay.
Vermin Free is there, so you get the only extra bonus for that.
Okay, that's good. So I have Impetus Blade and Lucid as well. So, and then Vermin Free, so that's a +3 from that. And then I have a total of 10 personal swaggering techniques, so that gives me a +3 as well. So I am +6. I will use my methodical to cancel it. It's -6.
Very
so
good.
I'm going to be rolling 2 dice +6.
2 dice +6. And Fred, just so that you realize what Tony is doing, Tony is on page 128 of the book here. He's going to use Technique N, which he already has, and then he's going to you get to roll twice, Tony, because you're 11.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
And he has the ability of Killer Instinct, Blade Epidus. Is your mount lucid, Tony, as well or not?
Yes, it is.
So he is getting a total of +3 to his dice roll because he has multiple traits, multiple swaggerings of the same type. And he is also how many total of your Killer Instinct swaggering do you have as a bonus?
I have 10.
Since
10,
he has,
so it gives me a +3.
yeah, since he has 10 of a certain type of swaggering, he's at +3 to his roll for that. So +3 is +6. He rolled a total of 12.
A 12.
And what is the 12 on the table there, Tony?
12 is it's in the chat above.
Half a die 8. Yeah, dispatch half a die at opponents or 1 large plus adversary, but also lose swaggering. But I have locked Killer Instinct as glorious,
so you cannot lose it. So Tony just says, step back. He walks up to the great electrical creature. He does his Killer Instinct and knows exactly how to short it out to ground, and he has successfully killed the big creature.
Boom,
now,
there it is.
Take your...
Tony, at level 7, I could have gotten a check for that too, but that's okay.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's all right.
Maybe for the
You were
next
the
battle,
one who wanted to run. I heard that, Mike.
For us below level 3, you can check either Bard's Tale, watching the hero kill the electrical beast, or you can take magical. And I'm going to check magical for that. I've never seen an electrical beast before. Conrad and Fred, I think that applies to you guys.
Yep.
And I go back to my underworld.
Good job, Tony.
Yeah, he actually, really killed the thing that you're taking the credit.
It is unusual, but it's a good job.
I've got a whole list of things that says Tony killed it in quotes.
Well, you don't have to quote this one.
Nope, says Tony killed it for real. Let's go south.
So
Could I check that for travel?
You could check that for either Bard's Tale or Magic. So
Okay,
ignoble number.
checked.
You already got both of those checked.
Travel was adventure too, Red. I would assume that was a.
It's dangerous encounter, but he really wasn't. Tony is sort of proving that no one was in danger at that moment.
Well,
We were in danger from Tony's ego.
I'll give you the proverbial half a check, Fred, which means that anything you do in the future is probably going to give you the full check of that adventure. So if you want to mark it as that you're almost there.
you'll get it.
So Fred,
It's
you
climbing this
got to
up.
go to the Iron Mantle and see a giant creature to check adventure, man. You're in trouble.
Well, the thing with Conrad is he got led through half
He
of the
makes-
island by people who.
And he's level 1, by the way.
Conrad makes a really good point that maybe I'm being too hard on him, but
Level 1 dude, by the way. I
I
think I got mine for walking to the end of the dock.
in my defense, it was a pretty dangerous dock.
Yeah, and Tony only had about 9 swaggering techniques then, though.
All right, what are you going to do, Mike?
Blah. All right, we're gonna backtrack a bit and go up here, see if those two walls really meet or if there's a gap.
All right, let's see if we can make these two walls meet without making too much.
You finished your smoke? All right, I finished mine. If you're ready to go in, you can do that.
So it looks like the Iron Mantle doesn't allow you to connect to anything other than the place we came in from.
You still have about an inch on the bottom of the map.
Doesn't look like an inch to me, but okay.
Well, it depends on the scale of your scale on your display.
Right.
What do you think, guys? Do we want to verify that these top two walls really do meet, or go down and check at the very bottom and see if that extends all the way to the bottom? Let's just walk here.
Why not?
All right, no, red's shown that they meet. All right, we'll go ahead and back down there.
I think it's important to know either way, right?
Yeah.
Not like we won't be
It
back
is.
again.
And I'm moving your guy for a second.
Show.
Okay.
Oh.
Ooh, look at that, Mike.
But it's not text, but you can still go through it?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, hold on. Just Vicky.
We could continue to explore this area looking for the, what is it, the whatchamajigger loot?
The Womb of Gems.
Ooh,
The easy peasy loot.
ooh, the Womb of Gems. Ooh, you know, I feel that it is somewhere in that lower right corner. Ooh, the Womb of Gems. Ooh, that would be an ignoble check. Ooh, Rusty, you tempt me. I like the way you think. I'm gonna backtrack us.
I don't even think Bruce could spend all that loot.
I could blow it.
Yeah, we might want somebody to audit the books whenever Bruce starts putting a chest full of cash into the local guild house, going, "Make me a university."
Build me a
Sure,
wall.
sir. We will.
I'd like a gate.
Build a very straight wall, if you would, lad. All right, so that's a block from that direction, Mike. I'm trying to keep you from getting back to the quest location of the last adventure. You will not be able to get back in the castle of the Titans.
And that's to the
I
right,
guess.
correct?
Yes, so you have to go back to the denizens and try a different route if you're looking for the Womb of Gems.
So I would have to go here and then maybe do that.
Well, that could
What
do
is
it.
that unique feature?
Well, I mean, that's our quest goal, so we may as well sidetrack and look for the Womb of Gems. Because, that's logical.
Yeah.
How bad could it be?
And plus,
Oh,
Laura
look, it's a
saying
deck of many things.
treasure to
Oh,
level
crap.
up. So, womb of gems.
Oh, it could all be bad, but that's all right.
Yeah,
Always bad.
Tony's still got body parts to lose.
Yeah, I mean, we're not playing, we're not in D&D. We're not playing T1 where you start off in the room with the poison gas.
That'd be bad, poison gas.
Yeah, that would be bad. So we're around that thing. I'm going to do that.
Okay.
What was the green line there? The big green line?
The green line to the south is another barrier that you cannot get through because I'm trying to keep you away from the castle that Ungmar is in.
I see, okay.
So Ungmar is keeping us out. He
Or
doesn't want to see
just,
us right now.
it's incidental to this mission.
Yeah. All right. There's a move.
Easy peasy loot. Love it.
We load up on easy peasy loot, of course. And I would double check this and give you a treasure laden as well, but you already have treasure laden, so that's not going to help us. And on the underworld itself, do you have a place that you can store the easy peasy loot? Way back here, I guess, on the Unending Gray.
Yeah, way back the Unending Gray. That's right in between Runner Parish and the Denizens of that top level, right? You're talking about we would store it up here, right? At this route marker.
Yes.
Yeah.
So route marker, send back. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now where to, Mike?
Still looking. Well, let's see. You didn't open up that area, that tiny little black thing below the Iron Mantle. That makes me think there's something there.
That desire's fulfilled for our lobies.
Was that enough loot for checking treasures for level 6?
Yes.
Woohoo!
Desires fulfilled. Yes, it is.
So that got you to 7.
Yes.
Oh, well, do I want to take that? No. If it's going to be loot, I'm going to... Well, yeah, I could take something else for the Womb of Gems. All right, I'll take a treasure. I'm easy.
Well, in this case, we could, in theory, because we'd have a place to stash it.
Yeah.
Is that your move, Mike? I can't...
Yeah, just south of the Iron Mantle.
Just south of the Iron Mantle.
Yeah, because you got that narrow black space between the Iron Mantle and the easy peasy loot, and that just makes me think there's something there. I could be wrong.
Oh, it's a monstrous den.
Well,
All
that's
right.
always fun, There are some other level 7 guys who are looking for great creatures to fight, or there are some level 2 guys who, would like to fight something wimpier.
Well, the guy with the electrical fist that stuns, we like him, but he really wasn't as dangerous as we want to make him. So how about if we make him times 4?
That's pretty dangerous, I'd say.
It is pretty dangerous, but I'll drop the stun on the pinned. So the great electrical beast, apparently the electricity monsters are taking over the Iron Mantle at this moment. Everything's being electrified. 4 great monsters, and I start with Mike.
4 great monsters, and they are...
Defensive modifier 6.
Defensive modifier 6, and they are...
The Banes is what's going to be ugly, because Banes of Great Banes, boy, those are a lot of vicious.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and blow my Methodical at this point to eliminate that death modifier. I am going to use Voltaic, because Voltaic against an electrical creature seems logical.
Okay.
I have 15 swaggering techniques, so I am rolling 2 dice plus 4.
All right, so you're going to go ahead and
we have a quest bit, plus 5.
Yes, so you're going to use Recitation, is that correct?
Correct.
Okie doke.
Just 2d8 plus 5, and roll twice for level 7 gives me a 15. That should That should gush one.
And recitation method. What letter was it again, Mike?
Voltaic, N.
And same thing as Killer Instinct, right?
Yeah.
And you have killed one with a 15. There are 4 left. I mean, there are 3 left. I go on to Fred. Fred,
Yes.
you're facing 3 great creatures. 3 great creatures. You're not going to treat this as you can certainly treat it as battle, but you don't want to treat this as heroics for what it matters. Did you want to go brash, or did you want to try to escape?
Can we go gifted magic?
What's your trait on?
You can, if you wish. If you want to try.
Yeah,
now
let's.
the defensive
try
modifier is
that.
-6. Did you have a methodical to cancel that, or are you going to just -6 from your dice rolls?
Let's
If
see.
you
You don't
go-
have a methodical, you want to escape.
Yeah, if you want to escape,
Yeah.
the escape will not actually.
Let's do that. Let's go for an escape.
You can actually pick up a number of swaggering by trying to escape as well. So let me go to that table.
Escape.
You seldom escape on the escape.
Yes.
You never know. I'm actually on page 156 if you wanted to read ahead as well, and these guys will post it for you. Here comes your card, Fred. It is a 6 of coins Bane. And strike that. We're not going to actually use the escape method for this. We're going to use Ferocious Banes for this. Great.
Yikes.
Yeah. So let me go to Great Banes and a Great Bane. Thanks, Mike. Somebody going to post a Great Bane of a 6, or do I need to post it?
Sorry. I'll get to that in a second. Is that
I got it here.
Spellcaster?
Okay. Oh, it's yeah. We're gonna use this one,
It's
Conrad.
under monster, right? It's
Yeah,
under
go
monster, right?
Go ahead, Fred, and read it out. I just posted.
Okay. Knowing the monster is vain, fan its rage, adorn its lair with graffiti, or consecrate the ground with your clan colors, holy oils, a legion banner, lordly sigils, shield, crest, etc. The beast frosts and expels a belching cloud of death. That's 1. Now hope the foe has some daily limit, fail and knocked out by a 2nd or 3rd such vile discharge. If the character is skill, grit, fortitude, or pugilist, I am pugilist.
Very good.
The difficulty reduces by 2 for each difficulty 15.
You want to fail this because it's not a vicious wound. It's just knocking you out.
Yeah.
Advantage is Paladin Blade, which you I don't think you have,
Nope.
but it's a 15. Down 2 is a 13. Give me 2 dice for a 13, or you're knocked out by the electrical charge that probably.
Good
spelled
roll.
on every
Just
creature.
get knocked out. That's better than an escape.
It's
Yikes.
not so bad as long as they end up killing 3 others. If we all run from this eventually, it's not going to be as good for Fred. But I go to Tony. Tony, what would you like to do, sir?
I think I am going to do a Killer Instinct again. It worked so well originally on them.
Very good.
Except
Do it
for
again.
you're -6. You've already used your methodical.
I have. You're right. So question: If
It's
I
enough
use my
bonuses for the rolls a wash.
right, so if I use my methodical originally for that, does that mean I cannot use it for the gain the catbird seat?
No, you may.
That's a different skill.
You may go ahead and use it to gain the catbird seat at the start of a battle. That's +3.
Then I will do so. So I'm going to roll 2 dice plus 3.
Your 2 dice. Actually, it's going to be. It's a net of +3. That is correct because
Yep.
-6 +6. I was about to say you're +9 -6, but go ahead. Yes.
And so I'm going to roll a 14, which I'm pretty sure is going to eliminate 1.
Terrific. There are 2 of them.
Good job. Staggering.
That's our heroes. I go to Bruce. Bruce, what did you want to do?
I'll do magical.
Lovely. Okay.
And I've
It
got
is going to be a Bane Queen, a great monster Bane Queen. Do you have that, Conrad, or do you need me to post it?
I have that Bane Queen.
A
And
Bane
It's just a queen, right?
Yes,
for great.
great Queen. Mm-hmm.
Can I also use the methodical and catbird seat?
Yes, you may.
Okay. Was the sound of the crack the speed of your whiplash attack or the snap of your elbow? Fail and suffer a vicious wound. If the character is skilled brawler, where's brawler? Yes, I am brawler. Or trait energetic. I'm not energetic. The difficulty reduces by 2 for each. Difficulty 13. Advantage blade nightly. Which one is nightly? Oh, I am nightly.
Knightly is G, yes. So your role is you said you were both energetic and brawler, so you would
No,
roll.
I'm
No,
not.
he's
No, he's
Yeah,
not
just
energetic.
brawler, not energetic.
You need an 11, and
10,
but you
because he's got the quest pip.
very good. Thank you, Conrad. You
And
need
I have
a
a
10.
catbird seat.
catbird seat, so we're going to introduce 3 more. Are you also spirited and want to use your fury pip? I would say yes, you should use your fury pip because we're at 853 and we're going to get new traits next week. So
Okay, yes, I'll use my fury pip.
So it's becoming a very, very manageable. Let's see, it went down to 8-7. It's a 7 plus 2 more. Did I count that right? It's only a 5.
It's 5. Yep, 5.
It's a 5. You can roll a
Mix up
5
G.
and lock your blade nightly as glorious, or you can roll 3 dice for a 5 to avoid the vicious wound outright.
There we go.
2 rolls, and
none
you
of it.
have made it, so lock your blade nightly, but the monster is still there. I go on to my character, and I will take escape at level 2 or level 1? I'm level 2. I could actually use all my abilities and try to take a stab at this thing.
Good luck with that.
But
leave it for the 6s and 7s.
All right, well, I got 2 make rolls, too. You can't
That's right.
talk
Fight
me.
this thing.
You
Fight
cannot.
this thing, Red.
You cannot
I'm
talk
staying
me
in
out
for
of
a
dying.
I need
All right.
battle and heroics now, so I will have
I'm
to.
staying in for a round.
Yeah,
I'm good.
escape, don't blow a make roll.
I've already used my energetic. I have not used my rugged, and I do not have methodical. So no, I'm going to use escape because it's -6 defensive modifier. I flip a card, and unfortunately, it's a bane. It's an 8, a bane 8 of great.
Red.
Yep.
I got that for you, Red.
Shelter in a spot where the massive beast would not be able to fit. That sounds like a very good point.
Fiends?
I got 8 of shelter and spot. Great. Did you? Oh, not a bane escape, Conrad. All banes are greats. Because I'm going escape.
Oh,
I don't
that
have the
was Mike.
defensive modifier.
That was Mike that did that.
Yeah,
Okay,
shelter
sorry.
and spot where the massive beast would be able to fit, nor quite easily filled with fiery breath, in this case electrical fire. Fail and suffer a vicious wound. The character is skilled acrobat, delver, or grit fortitude. I am not an acrobat. I am not a delver. I am not grit fortitude. Boy, a 14 wizardry shape changing. Do you realize that? No, it was conjuration. I do not have wizardry shape changing, but I will use my roll and pick up wizardry shape changing. Oh, that'll queer the. All right, I'll take one for the chin.
No. There'll be more great creatures the next time we come across something nasty.
No, that's not right. I understand the way the game is played. I roll 2 dice and go 15.
Hey, made it. And
Wow.
he got shape shifting.
All right, I pick up shapeshifter. I did not fail and suffer a vicious wound, and more of better. I pushed the die over to Rusty. Rusty, what would you wish to do?
Recitation.
Recitation, absolutely.
And I'll cancel the defensive modifier with methodical.
Very good.
Let's see. We're gonna do demigod glorious. I've got 19 magics.
No, he can't run away.
That's
What? Okay. Well, let's see. Cosmic.
Cosmic.
Oh, I'm sorry. A great would run away. I take that back.
no a great does not run away. A great does not
Okay.
surrender. So a great, you need an outright
Right.
dispatch.
Yeah,
So you got celestial,
Rusty, you're looking at
pyrotechnics.
Pyrotechnics would dispatch, Celestial would dispatch, Hexes, Voltaic, Spirit Guide, and Power Words.
Let's see here.
Voltaic is logical against an electrical creature. That's the one I did.
No. Ooh, magical.
Magical. Here
Card.
comes the card flip. And it's the Justice card. Let me go back to 95. It's a Bane Justice card. Don't you dare tell me I got to do a magical
I got that.
attack.
No one may use combat trait bonuses till the battle ends or the deck shuffles.
Inverted. None of the players may use their combat trait bonuses. All right. Well, the ones that have already been used won't affect. How about if I give you a 4 of Swords magical, Rusty?
I was crying about that.
Somebody want to
Mike.
post it?
Sorry, Magic 4 of Swords.
I got it.
Thanks.
Filled the area with brimstone and choking smoke success, and half D8 opponents or one large adversary surrenders, but fail roll and knocked unconscious. Regardless, all players lose command and tactics pips. Sorry, guys.
Thanks, Rusty.
Difficulty 11, advantage wizardly pyrotechnics, which I do
10.
have. I could lock it.
You
with
could.
a 10.
But you can't make roll if we're going to get the
no,
mic.
I could lock it with a 10, or I could just kill one monster with the triple roll.
But you don't kill one monster, Rusty. It
Surrenders.
It surrenders, and it does not surrender great creatures. So reevaluate your roll here. You probably want to just try the 10. Now, you have the Fury Pip, correct? Because you're spirited?
Well, it cancels it all, right? Before we got that.
I used Methodical, which canceled his thing, and I can't do anything else because you just got that tarot card that says I wasn't allowed to use anything else.
Am I misinterpreting that you didn't activate it already?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was only doing the Methodical.
Yeah, okay, so all you did was cancel the defensive modifier, so you need a 10 on 2 dice, or you're knocked unconscious. A safe place to be, perhaps, Rusty, as you've said.
Except we need to win this fight, or else it's not a safe place.
Correct.
Then you become Grist. Remember Grist?
Yes.
Grist is bad. Don't be Grist.
Grist is bad.
Failed roll and knocked unconscious. So I could pick up Wizardly Pyrotech if I wanted to roll 2 dice, is what you're saying.
And yes, or you fail,
But I
you're going to
can't
be knocked
dispatch.
You do not dispatch.
Because they don't surrender.
Correct.
All right. And is Pyrotechnics one that would kill?
Pyrotechnics is one that would kill.
All right. Well, then we'll go ahead with the 2 dice then. 7, 6, knocked unconscious.
All right. We lost the preeminent wizard of our age, and we go on to Conrad. What would you like to do, sir, at low level?
Oh, I was just, for a minute there, I was hurt. I only got one choice, it's escape.
There's 2 guys left. No,
it didn't matter. It would have gotten it. But it didn't.
You get the Bane Great of Night, Conrad.
I don't want the Bane.
I know you don't want the Bane. I don't want it either.
I saw Rusty went down.
Yes,
I don't want to see that. Reveal a long-kept secret from your past, a harsh upbringing, tale of woe. Really, now? You could have been a warrior monk, an exotic hunter, one of the emperor's janissary, etc. The point being, you know this creature, or were taught by an expert. Fail and not so much. Very confused about everything. You liar. Suffer a vicious wound. Regardless, lose any swaggering technique from opportune maneuvers. Your true knowledge is that the monster is way beyond invincible and fought where it sleeps. Your technique loss may be taken personally or from your weapon mount or magical abilities. It may not be lost from the group's longboat. A character without techniques to lose is outright slain. Great scene, though. A tearful monologue reveals that the clue to winning, bravo, good death, sir. If the character's skill, armor, smithy, or bowman, and I am a bowman. What's it say here?
It's in the chat.
The difficulty reduces by 2 for each. Difficulty 12, advantage skill, occult scholar. I am not an occult scholar, so it's a 10. Less 1 for the quest pip is a 9. Plus 6, I believe, is what we're minused here, right? So it's a 15.
No, because you were escaping, and the Bane just was an alternate flare, so it's still.
So I need the 9.
A 9 to avoid the vicious wound.
Okay.
But regardless, you're going to lose a swaggering. So a 9 to avoid a vicious wound, and check off 1 swaggering, please.
Okay, and there's no upside on this because it's Bane, right? So 9. I remember I was trained to fight this monster. The bottom line is this dude's not beatable. Looking for the 9.
Yes,
and
even though 2 of them gone down.
That is a success.
That is a success. Unfortunately, the advantage is occult scholar. You cannot pick that up, but you do not fall with the vicious wound. You just warned us that we cannot defeat this thing, which is not very good for morale, but we move on to Laura. Laura, what would you like to do? Brash. Here comes a brash card.
I'm going to lose my eminent blade, by the way.
How about if we get a 9 Great Bane?
9 Great Bane. I'm tired of seeing them bad boys. You got that, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Creatures such as these often must be slain by a certain kind or unique magical weapon.
The Shield of Einherjar. Call it.
Ensure you're endowed with the necessary virtues. Fail and suffer a vicious wound. If the character's trait clever, I am, or gifted, I also am. No, that's the one I'm not. The difficulty reduces by 2 for each. Difficulty 12, advantage blade, fantastic.
So do you have clever or gifted? You have 1.
Clever.
So it's a 12 minus 2 is 10 plus 6 for the death mod is a 16 on 3 dice.
Oh, then I need to cancel Death Mod, don't I?
You can't. We can't use trait bonuses.
Bonuses, right. 16 on 2 dice. I don't have.
Do you have? hold
Or
on,
you suffer
do have
vicious.
any-
Oh, right.
Maybe time to call out the make
Right,
rolls.
do you have mystical or do you have
I have
TK?
mystical and I have telekinesis.
You can use that to cover.
All right, so I'm thinking on
3 dice, roll twice.
Maybe time to call out the make rolls.
But Laura makes her rolls. Okay, so Laura, you used an alternate swaggering technique to cover for Blade Fantastic, and you do not
She needs
fall
a-
with a vicious wound.
No, she didn't make the roll yet.
Oh, it's a 16, right?
There it is.
Well, I needed 14.
16, and I go on to Mike.
That's
Mike, what would you
six.
like to do? You actually have canceled the defensive modifier. Between you and Tony,
Yeah.
you could bring these two down.
Yeah,
Methodical. Can we use methodical to keep me from going unconscious?
No, because we can't use trait bonuses at all in this battle.
No,
Unless,
but we have the those
The
pips.
clever bonus, you're saying,
The clever
right?
bonus. Excuse me. Yeah.
Now, the clever bonus says that it prevents lost swaggering and irregular events, but it does not prevent the knockout.
Okay. Never
Well,
mind.
then remove one for me, Red, and I'll keep my blade eminent.
Very good.
Don't worry, Rusty. Knockout is safe. Remember.
Oh, I understand, but I'd like to get the battle done.
If you're standing, you gotta make a roll.
I
Tony.
won't make. Yeah, I have to make a roll.
All right, I'm still up to Mike. Mike, it's 9:04.
Right, so I
you
used
can bring him
voltaic.
down.
I used voltaic last time, so to prevent to keep from being boring, I'm going to use power words this time. My modifiers have not changed. I am still 2d8 plus 4, and I roll twice.
Okay.
So I will take my 14, and a 14 on power words is dispatch one opponent of any size.
There's
That's
down
an S,
to
by the
one.
way.
Fred is momentarily knocked unconscious. I doubt he would want to re-enter the battle, as bloody as it is. Tony, it's up to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's one left.
One left. Okay.
One great creature, yes.
All right. Well, my killer instinct works so well because I know exactly what I need to do. So I'm going to do it again, except I no longer have any bonuses, so I think it's a straight roll.
No bonuses because...
well, I mean, I have
Uses
the...
cap
I have
Wait,
a plus
comes out
6.
into-
I
Oh,
don't
you don't have the cap or
additional.
seat because it's only for one round, yes.
Mhm.
So it's cancel, 0. Give me 2 dice then. Roll it twice.
Okay. Why didn't that work? Try it again.
10
The
and
10 is the 10 high enough? I don't know.
10's an 11.
Yeah, because of the quest pip.
10 doesn't get you there.
Okay. And do it again then. 9. Nope.
No.
Did not.
Okay, so the best you did was you glanced off of them as you made your attack. I go over to Bruce. Bruce, what would you like to do?
Magical.
Magical. Give me your card flip, Bruce. And it's the Tower of Destruction.
Oh, that's always good.
That's going to be more things show up, I bet.
It's inverted.
And
No.
That's always good.
Tower of Destruction, inverted, says all the regular results apply, plus the enemy is now enraged. Well, okay, that's going to be defensive modifier going to.
We're not supposed to use the great. We don't have the great ignobles or major arcana, right? Because it was inverted. That's going to be better, by the way.
The other shoe drops. More opponents arrive in the battle. Perhaps more of the enemy rise up, and they rise up enraged. So we're going to have 4 guys back again, rising up and enraged, and that's where we're going to leave it off at for this evening. Is we're going to let you think about it for a week. That Mike said I need to check an ignoble. He pushed us into a monstrous den.
Somehow I got Rusty's rolls.
Well, that can happen occasionally, but we have, I got it on my sheet here, we got 4 monsters that
Rusty
are...
had Rusty's rolls too.
When we come back, Fred, you'll have the option of either deciding that you're no longer knocked out since we're restarting the week, or you can remain knocked out so you don't have to risk the card roll. And Rusty, you would probably want to re-enter battle.
Yes, I would.
And I will. That will be essentially where we're going to end it for the evening.